It is Tuesday, not July, but June 11th, 2019, and we're here talking to you on another day. And, some stuff went down as far as trailers and news, and we're going to cover all that shit. But joining us today on the table, it is the wire pulling dance wedding go. I had a dream last night that you were, and I just realized it as I was bringing it up to Josh Macuga here, that something happened with a wedding that I was inviting you to, and it wasn't like my wedding because I'm married already, but it was a wedding that we had to go to.
A re-wedding? A renewal of vows?
Was it my wedding?
No, it wasn't your wedding, and
it certainly wasn't my wedding.
That's true, but I knew that I had to get you to go. And I said, and someone asked me, is he going to want to go to another wedding? I goes, he's born to go to weddings.
Yeah. I'll be at the wedding. You can crop me out of the pictures, though. No worries.
I will. I'll do it. So yesterday, Ralph Macchio.
No.
Yeah, so Ralph Macchio came in, and so
comes Thursday. It was a fun interview, man.
It was a great interview. We had it. It'll air on Thursday. But I said to Macuga as we got outside, because I wanted to meet Ralph Macchio for since I saw the movie when I was a kid. So I said, we'll do the group picture in a second. I just need to get one shot with him alone.
And you had already prepped me for it.
I had asked you because it was the only one, because I don't normally do that. I'll do the group picture, and then I just do the single picture. I don't really like to do it with the guests.
Well, that's how it works. Just so none of us take solo pictures with the guests.
You shouldn't.
As you shouldn't, unless it's like your biggest diehard fan of that
but
person.
Let me
defend. You can defend yourself.
So you are a diehard. You've been waiting. So you said to me beforehand,
I said, I gotta
will you
get a
take
shot.
this picture
Yeah,
of
I
me,
need
please?
it because Macuga had taken a picture of somebody just beforehand and it didn't come out very well. I forget who it was, but I was like, whatever, Josh, if you can take this. He's like, oh, we're all going to take the group. I go, I know, but I just want to get this one with him. He's like, no, we're all going to take it over here. I said, I just want to get this one with him. So he didn't want to do it, but he turns around and he goes,
no, I took it. I didn't say I didn't want to do it. And you said, I want to get this one so I can send to Josh and Aiden. That's what you said.
I did, and that's true. I did. I wanted to send it to them, and I said, I also said, because I also don't want to crop it out, is what I said too. And then he takes it. It looked like I was hammered. It was the worst picture, and I don't really normally care about that kind of stuff, but I was like, it was awful. I said, I cannot.
Also, why don't I just send it out to all the Schmodown people?
What is it?
The worst picture of me that you decided to send out to every person.
Right. But again,
burn.
But we all agreed on that when we were on the table.
I did not agree.
Yes, you did
you
on
all
the table.
Agreed.
Oh, that's true. We said we're going to send it out, but we already printed it out. But the point was, I said I don't want. I said I can't use this picture. So I said I'll just crop out the other one too. So then we take the picture of all of us, and so I cropped myself out of that one, and I posted it only on Instagram and to my friends on Facebook. He got very offended.
I didn't get offended. I just think it's hysterical. It's like hysterical. The third time you've done this.
But this time I said I was going to do it.
You're the only person
I did.
He said
you told her.
I said
but you're the only person.
You maybe not heard it because everybody was ruffling. But
I didn't. My hand is in the picture on your shoulder.
That was very funny.
The only person I know who does it, though. So can you talk to us about your thought process?
It was the one picture because
what's the difference between you solo with him and
because I have to zoom in because I tell them every single time I don't like, and it's the one thing about pictures, I just don't like the wide picture with everybody's legs in it and everything too. I just don't like that. It's just it's the same way you have certain angles.
Aesthetic.
I just don't like it. And
yourself?
Yeah.
So you'd rather have a cropped, grainy shot.
No, it's not that grainy. But every single time, it's always the long shot, and I can't stand it. So and I can't zoom in on all of us. Although I did for the Seth Green, and you'll be very happy because we're going to do this before your silly tweet yesterday.
I think it was pretty accurate.
I did it. I did this one. Where was it?
Nice.
Like this one. So I did this one. That was what I did of Breckin and Seth.
Sure.
But I couldn't do that for Ralph. It didn't work. So I cropped it.
What do you mean it didn't work?
It wouldn't crop the same way. I'm telling you, I tried to do it. And so anyway.
No. That I'm calling bullshit
That's
on.
true.
The other thing I'm totally, it's fine. And I honestly, I saw Macuga's tweet and I laughed to myself and then said, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole. Did not respond.
Should I have posted that?
No, I told you not to. But what do you mean you couldn't crop the other one that way?
I couldn't crop it for some reason. It just didn't work the way I wanted to. Plus, I wanted to show it on Facebook. It was the one picture I wanted just for Ralph.
I feel. That I get. But you can't say you couldn't crop it.
I'm telling you, it didn't come out the same way.
You physically couldn't crop it.
Yeah, it just didn't come out the same way.
I totally get it because it's it's Daniel LaRusso and no, I mean I did the same thing.
You cross.
Yeah, I wanted a picture.
Yeah, see?
So there I am. I'm with Ralph Macchio right here.
Good, that's good. That's a good one.
I wish that I could keep
that
a
together.
switch over
really
YouTube
great.
right
No,
now.
that's me and Ralph together.
Funny.
See that arm around me? That's Ralph.
It's really good. So
Here's what you should.
your arms are working
Here's
out.
a funny remedy of it: is you post the group picture and then you post the second picture, you slide across, and then you zoom in on yourself. It's like me next to
true.
Ralph.
No, I saw it. I had no idea you were doing that.
Here's the
I
funny
saw
part.
It too, and I
It was
laughed
the
my
only
ass
one-
off.
it
I'm
was the
so
only
scared
one.
of this topic because, like, right now we're laughing, but I feel like you're about to get real sensitive about it. No, we're okay.
No, I don't care.
We're
Yeah.
still okay. I get really nervous.
We're friends here.
I mean, I feel like my favorite critique of Kristian is his social media prowess.
That seems to be every time because I guess I don't follow the rules and I don't care about them.
I don't think there are rules. You just
your
legitimately
rules.
cut
I don't
out.
follow.
Your,
I don't follow your rules.
correct, sure,
Yeah.
but you also cut out your 3 friends that host the show with you.
But that poster, that picture, I'm
That's
still
like,
doing.
it's not. It's your Kim. You just Kim Kardashian to your other hosts.
But again, first of all,
Kristian
I'm not-
Kardashian over here.
It wasn't a full on.
We do
First
host
of
the
all,
show with
it wasn't
him.
a full on production tweet to put it out on all over the place. It was Instagram that I wanted to put out there to show. It's exactly what I did. My friends who knew there's 2 people in my life that I really wanted to meet, and it was Julia Roberts and Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
And it was the only one. That's why like I said, I don't believe in grabbing the celebrities afterwards when they're in here and saying, "Hey, can I have a picture with you?" I don't like doing that.
It's
the,
awkward.
The group picture I like doing.
Yeah.
The group picture.
But we got to promote the show.
Yes, the group
You guys
picture
just
I
threw
like
half
doing.
the office under the bus too, because everybody in the office, when they see a celebrity that they want to take a picture with, Alex, number one, no offense, Alex, but he's the first one to be like, "Hey, can I get a pic too?" But he works on the show. That's fine. Dorian does it. Mark Fernandez
honestly,
does it.
I don't find it to be particularly appropriate that they do that. It always makes me feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the point is,
Should we get them to defend themselves?
last thing I want to do is have another production meeting on this show. So, like
If it's your favorite person of all, like if Bruce Springsteen walks in here, I'm not getting a picture
right.
with him.
And the other reason
But,
why is
like,
because
every celebrity, every time, it's.
But the
so much.
other reason I wanted to do it because Josh and Hayden and John, they are friends of the show, friends of mine now. They've been promoting the show. We've been promoting it for a long time, and it was cool because when Ralph came in here, he was very aware of the show. He was very aware of everything we've done. He watched all the interviews, and it was just like it was more of like, hey, we're just kind of.
He recognized us
right
when
away.
he came in.
And
That
the
was
studio.
crazy.
Yeah.
He was like, "Wow, this place is a little smaller, a little hotter than I thought it was."
Well,
Definitely hot today.
he was rocking that blazer.
Yeah, well, I was in a t-shirt and I smelled.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
sweating.
it was, he was he was
you
very
know,
nice about it, but it was super hot.
He
in here.
did this thing in the picture where, like when you're deciding who's going to hold hands which way, and there's a top and bottom. Same thing with when you're putting your arm around somebody for a picture. And he did this thing where my arm had to go up, and I was like, I smell.
You're stinking.
Let me go under. Let me go under.
You hit him with the wave.
It was. I mean.
You don't
It
smell
wasn't
now.
great. Yeah, I was just checking.
Here's the thing.
It's gonna
is
carry over from yesterday.
I did shower.
It's 100
I'm proud of
degrees. It's 100 degrees plus here today. In
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Yeah,
It's like
already.
101.
And yesterday
When I,
was
lo-
very
was
hot.
when I
very
left
hot,
yesterday,
right?
it was 107.
Yeah.
107.
It's crazy.
My
It was
car,
a
107.
Oh, in your
when you
car.
left.
Okay.
Well, no, that's what it said. My car temperature said 107.
Well, that's 'cause it's
all.
been
That's
baking.
because you're baking. It wasn't that's not the outside.
That's not how that works.
No.
It was about.
That's the
It was
inside
about
of your car.
101.
It's the inside of my car.
Yes. Your car was 107. It wasn't 107 out here yesterday.
Do you know what I thought?
I think it was 115
The other day it was
degrees.
115 degrees out.
I thought it went to a satellite.
Wait, it went to a satellite?
Retweet. Retweet.
And the satellite told
Right now, you deserve to be cropped out of
what-
the picture.
Oh, speaking of which, yesterday
So hot
I
today.
asked Seth Green if he knew all those words that
Seth
you
Meyers?
No, Seth Green.
Yeah, that was
If he knew all those words that you guys knew, and he did.
He knew all of them. And, well,
Yeah.
no, Dagnino did too. We should tell our Yard House story.
I don't even know where to start. There were so many things that kept happening.
Why does every time we go there, something effing
Well,
happens?
This was amazing.
It all started with me asking whose section I was in.
Yeah.
Because
I walked off to go to the
he goes to the
restroom,
bathroom.
and
Tom and I
Tom,
walk
yeah.
in together.
We can't have the one, but we like Steph.
this
We love
is-
Steph. She wasn't there
but this
that
is
day
good.
though, but Amy was there, who we really liked too.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, just curious, whose section am I going in? He says, Amy, I'm great with that. There's only one name we can't go
Let's
to.
not say the main
No.
guy's
Yeah,
name here. This guy's name. Let's come up
No.
with another name
No,
for him.
so his name's Bob.
Call him Bob.
Yeah,
Fine.
his name's Bob. I wish I
Bob.
came up with something a little more creative.
Bob works.
Okay, so Bob, who you know is there very often, he stands out like a sore thumb.
Totally.
He looks very different than the rest
Yes.
of the people at this restaurant.
One would not say hip.
No, one would not say I'm hip.
Right.
You might say
I'd say
full
you're hip.
send.
Right.
His attitude toward life and talking to people, full send.
Bet.
Yeah.
So,
Well used.
so he
I'm
goes.
I was just about to say it too.
He goes
That's
to
good.
seat us, and on our walk over, Tom says to me, "Why did you ask whose section we were in?" I said, "Because there's somebody who's I can't be in." He turns to me and says, "Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud." So he's already in like kind of.
Bob said that.
Yeah, Bob said
Bob
it.
said it. I was like,
Bob
okay.
chimes in and says it. It's confusing because Bobby and the juice.
Right. Oh, that's true. All right.
So
let's-
Tom is Tom and
call him
Bob is
Fred.
Bob. Fred.
Call him
Okay.
Fred.
So
Right.
Bob is now Fred
Bob's
and
now
Tom
Fred.
is Tom.
Right.
Well,
So Fred.
we lost the half the
Right.
audience.
That's
now.
right. It's fine.
Wait. Okay, I'm with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then Fred sits us down and he's like, yeah, "I could tell you're in a little bit of a mood. Let me tell you a joke." So I said, "Okay."
I was not there for this yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I said,
I came
"Okay,
at the tail end of the joke.
okay, Fred." Long setup. He's talking about his wife. His wife gives him $10. Sends
It had
him
to be
the-
long because I took a long pee. I came
Yeah.
back and Fred was still
Still
there.
there.
Wife gives him $10, sends him to the bar, gets to the bar, woman turns over to him. "Oh, you have great hair. You look like George Clooney. Thank you so much." Next woman turns over to him. "Oh my God, your eyes are so blue. They look like the sky. Thank you so much." Turns to the bartender. "Why? Why is this all happening to me?" "Because those are complimentary peanuts." So I did the face you guys did, which
Right.
is
Yeah.
what?
That in our head. Yeah.
Tom is
Love
laughing very loud.
Yeah, Tom, when I got back, Tom goes, "Listen to this." So he goes, "So this guy tells a joke,
But then
and Roxy doesn't get it." He goes, "Are you surprised?"
it wasn't really that I didn't get it as much as or
Didn't laugh at it.
it was,
Right.
I was like, "Huh?"
Yeah, that's what he
And
said.
he was like, "The
yeah.
peanuts, they are complimentary."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay." He was like, "Okay, I'll." So I'm not really giving him what he wants, I guess. So he was like, he was like, "You know what is even cooler than that? I speak Mandarin."
That part I caught.
And I was
It's
like,
hard to miss.
No, well, you caught the second part of the Mandarin.
Oh,
The first
oh,
part
oh,
of the
oh.
Mandarin, well, he just started speaking
No,
in
I was there.
Mandarin.
I was there for
oh,
that. I
oh,
was there
okay.
for that.
And I said,
And you said,
that
you said
sounds
that's
like
not
you just
true."
spoke
Yeah,
English.
yeah.
It was like he was saying some Mandarin words, but then he would be like, and the cow said,
There was there was no accent.
no, no, it was like.
Bing chow chow. Bing chow chow.
I wouldn't even give it that
No,
much.
it was
okay.
it
Yeah.
was worse than that, and so I was like, "That was not Mandarin." He was like, "No, it is. I just said you're beautiful and you know it." And I was like, "Oh no, this is okay."
No.
So then I was like, "Okay," and he was like, "Okay, so you're not impressed by that? I got something else for you." The word for dimples is little wine cups in Mandarin,
Little
and
one.
I was like,
I had tuned out at this point.
So he's
Yeah.
still going. Finally, he leaves
Yeah,
after quite a bit.
Yep.
It must have been 7 minutes.
easily. Easily.
He leaves.
Our
The woman behind us starts
Oh, yes.
dying laughing.
She heard it. She's like, that
She's
was
by
very
herself.
entertaining.
Yeah. And then our waitress, Amy, comes over.
Yeah, she comes over and she's just and we like, "Hey, do you deal with Fred?" She goes, "I try not to." And she's like, "I dread Mondays."
She said, "I just felt really bad for you guys. I was watching that happen. I felt really bad."
I dread.
We were dying laughing. She was like, "I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Not my thing. Not my favorite person."
Like, how are you guys doing today? Please kill me.
Yeah,
she does not like Fred.
She was not down, and then she just like kept going.
Yeah,
Fred.
she was.
She
yeah,
just kept coming back.
She just
and-
knew, and Roxy's like, "I love the honesty." She's like, "That's all I know how to be." It was really funny.
Yeah. Apparently,
Poor
there
Fred.
is some honest stuff in the water there.
At
yeah,
Yard
they
House,
don't
they're
know
like,
how to-
"Listen, we love Hitler,
But not Fred.
Not Fred. Not a big Fred.
Nope, not Fred.
Fred's an asshole.
It's just, you know how some people, because I know you worked forever in service. I
Yeah.
worked forever in service. Did you guys ever work in
I
the
worked,
service?
so that's how we met.
There's
Yeah.
some, CPK. There's some people who just can't read the table. Like they
Right.
don't know when to
Right.
come back, when to
And
get
that's
it.
life.
It's
Totally.
Totally life, but it's so prominent in the
Right.
service
Yep.
industry.
Yep.
Fred could not have understood less.
No.
Just like did not get it.
No.
Just didn't know.
He's just one of those people
No.
that he walks into, and he'll walk in, you see him in a bar, and he'll talk your ear off for an hour telling you those jokes.
That's
and
when you
like,
got to get out of the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I thought Fred was never going to leave.
Complimentary peanuts.
Yeah, I didn't hear the joke, so I can't tell you whether or not it was delivered well or not.
That's
Or
how
Roxy
I do-
wine cups
that's
over
what-
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because
And also, can somebody who speaks Mandarin please confirm? Is that what dimples are?
Please call in.
Please call in and let us know. Well, that's our story. All right, guys. Hope you had a good show. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
It's true. We have guests coming in today. Gabriel Bateman, the star of the new Child's Play. Does he play Andy?
He's Andy.
Plays Andy. Okay, I didn't know if they changed the name up for the kid, but we're going to see that pretty soon.
When are you going?
I don't know. The invite came in this morning.
Did you get invited to Men in Black tonight?
Oh, is it screening tonight? I haven't checked. Yeah, I haven't looked at that email yet. So because there was no screening for her for a little bit.
I know
It
there
just
wasn't.
kinda came in
No,
last night or something?
I don't know. I haven't been invited yet, but I gotta go.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
I gotta go.
I usually obviously go to movies here in LA, right? I mean, I live here, so whatever. I haven't been to a movie outside of, say, like a city like Pittsburgh. So this weekend we went to John Wick 3, and I was in Orange County with my family. When the Men in Black International trailer ended, there was like a visceral groan
Oh.
from the
Really?
people. They were just like, this? Like I heard a man
I'm
and woman go like,
excited.
this again?
You have family in Orange County?
Yeah. Yeah. Amanda's sisters.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's how.
And I have an uncle.
Oh,
and, I have
okay.
and an uncle on my
your
side.
side of the
Yeah,
family.
there's an
Okay,
uncle down
well,
there.
there you go. The Frozen trailer drop. We'll talk about that for sure. Frozen 2, that is.
Do you go swimming today?
Tomorrow. I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday. I'm going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but this Friday I can't. I got to do a follow-up doctor.
So it begins.
Hit the
Monday, Wednesday,
weekend
Friday. I
swim.
couldn't. I already had a doctor's appointment.
The weekend
Okay.
swim might be crowded. We got to look
Yeah.
out. for
Well,
crowds.
weekend-
Is Friday weekend swim?
No, I'm talking Saturday. If you miss this Friday.
Saturday, Sunday is going to be like family day.
Got it.
Yeah. Well, Sunday obviously is Father's Day.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
So-
Farts, I got to send a card.
Yeah. Then I will be swimming around in the pool on Sunday, but it'll be with about 3 or 4 Bloody Marys in me.
What did you ask
nice.
for?
Peace
Sleep.
On
Yeah.
Earth or for yourself?
for myself.
A nap.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's that's all going down this week, and for sure we're gonna do a taping of the Schmodown this week. If you could do, what happened?
Your delivery of peace.
I know. It's just
Dishonest.
Resigned.
No.
Call me Fred.
My dad would just be like, just leave me alone for 4 hours. I want to take a nap, and I just don't want to be around you.
That's
So I'm
all.
like, great.
Yeah,
No problem. We'll be in the yard.
Yeah, see, but your dad's earned that.
Yes.
To where I'm still earning it.
Yeah.
I think that once my kids are a little older,
Like 10 and 15, whatever
That's
they're
the
going
thing.
to be.
It's like even like yesterday, I get home and I understand. It's like I got home and my wife deals with the kids all day long. So she's like, okay, good, I got backup. And I'm just like from doing work and everything else too. I'm like, I just want to sit down for a second. And then and I love it, spend the time with the kids. But I'm sitting there reading the same fucking book 87 times in a row, and it's just like, Mo, and I'm like, how many times you don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. It's just like, Mo.
Why don't you just record your voice?
I know I should.
Just do what Tom Selleck did in 3 Men and a Baby. He's reading like Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
And trust me, Mike, with the little one now, Mo, and now
Train
she does,
early,
but
train
now, but now
often.
she does this thing. I'm like, do you want that book? Yeah, that's the one you want. Yeah.
So you can bring one of the Star Wars books
Have
into
you-
it, and then you can catch up on your reading.
Have you guys seen that video that was going around last week where the guy is sitting on the couch with like a 1-year-old,
It's the
maybe?
best.
And
It's a
he's
comedian, that guy.
Oh, is
No,
he?
I didn't see
comedian.
it.
And the kid's just like talking gibberish back at him. He's like, yeah, definitely,
It's
definitely.
really, my mother
Yeah.
sent me that.
It's really
because
cute.
I do that.
Are you the only one in the office with a kid?
That I know. of.
Remsen has a kid, doesn't he?
No.
Cody?
No, he doesn't.
No.
Just Cody. Cody will be the Cody. will
Cody
be the
doesn't have a
next.
kid yet.
Not yet, but soon.
You're the only one in this whole office with a kid.
Dennis doesn't have a kid.
No.
Trying to think.
In the office, I mean, because Jay does. Jay Washington,
but
has
he's
a
not
kid.
in the
He's
office,
not in the
right?
office
He
right
comes
now.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I didn't know
He's
Jay
gone
had a
through
kid.
all the.
Two, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got two.
Doesn't Jay have 2 kids?
I think so.
I think so.
Did not know.
So no, but I think I am. So there you go. Look, we discovery.
We did it.
Sherlock Holmes.
Congratulations.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
So
much.
no, you're nobody can relate to you. Cody's about to be able to.
He's about to. Yeah, he'll have a lot of advice. I'm sure.
Are you guys going to talk about being dads?
It's up to him. I'm here for you,
Talk
Cody.
about dad stuff.
It's about-
What is dad stuff?
Dad
he'll-
Stuff, the
he'll know.
podcast.
He'll know. I mean, stuff that you.
Dad,
You
dad
have friends
stuff's
with
just
kids?
got to be
What?
like.
You've-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
It
I don't
must
know
be
anybody.
just.
I know. I don't. This is it. You guys are the only people I know. That's
Yeah.
it.
No, I know that's not true because we did your one-on-one and I talked to all different
That's
kinds
true.
of people.
That's true.
Well, seriously.
What question is that?
Do you have
You have friends with kids? No, I have no
I
friends
don't know
outside
anyone.
of anywhere
No.
that have kids.
They all said no. They said, you do it, stupid. And
Yeah.
that was it. Yeah. Although my friend, I talked to a few of my friends from back home yesterday.
Do they have kids?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
He
requirement.
goes to a school, right, where he takes his daughter to school. He's become friends with some of the parents,
you?
I'm guessing.
Yes.
See? There you
Really
go.
or no?
It happens often.
I'm lying to you. I don't like any of them. No, yeah, of course. There's a few, and even that the club the other day, we were talking to some people with some, and they happen to have kids.
Whoa.
But are they your friends or your
Yes.
acquaintances? Like, do you have a best friend with a kid?
Yes, Adam Winkleman.
Oh, yeah, I talked to him.
Yeah, he's got a kid.
Yes, he does.
He's a child.
Brett?
Kids got Brett Sheridan.
Brett!
Yes. Thank you so
Brett
much.
has kids.
Yeah, Brett had kids before
Ding.
I had kids. Thank you, Riley.
I'm him.
I'm hip.
before-
I'm
Oh,
hip. Full
before we get to
send.
it, because it's so funny because we do these notes and we never get to anything on these notes.
Unless I read them upside down.
Yeah. What happens? I actually saw that Dorina posted this thing. It was this video, this creepy weirdo thing that just kind of popped
Yeah.
up. Is this Photoshopped? Like,
Yeah, we got it.
What is
I
We
this?
have
gotta
zero
talk
idea
about
what you
this.
guys are talking about.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
the
but
video's
get
going to
ready
come up
for
on the
this.
So
screen.
you're gonna. The question is it
Set
here? Look,
it up.
look. So there's this video in. There's a car in the driveway, and this thing kind of like pops up. What is this?
Out of the
thing?
house.
It looks like Dobby.
It looks like Dobby the house elf.
That's.
No, it looks like a little naked kid. What?
It doesn't look like a kid.
Yeah, with the thing on their head, like a shower cap.
A kid?
Aliens and shit.
Yeah. It's
Okay, here's
Oh,
what.
this looks like a kid. Are you guys kidding?
Definitely not a kid.
If you go into that
Looks
thread,
like a tall, lanky kid.
Maybe with something on
that
its
thread
head.
is
Here's the thing,
amazing.
It comes
trying
out
to
of
figure
a
out
wall.
who it is.
It comes out of a door on the side of the house. You can see the shadow of the door. Cody,
It's
go.
the leg that's creepy.
Oh, yeah, but it could be either like a
Looks
really
like a skinny kid.
skinny meth addict maybe that's drunk, or a skinny kid. You don't know that. I mean, it's about as tall as the car.
No.
Somebody was saying it was a puppet, and that you can see something over here of like strings controlling
See, there's
it.
something happens there.
Yeah, like
is that
a door?
And then there he is. He's like
I don't
winging
see
around.
shit.
I don't know what it is, but it's weird.
He doesn't have a wee wee.
He's not walking.
Could be a
How do you
man,
know?
a
He's-
woman. I mean,
He's walking. That's his.
look at him go.
Yeah,
It does
when you
look.
see like something dangling.
That's a ponytail, I think. That's coming off the. See, that's like a little bit of
Like
a
a little
ponytail.
sock head. I
Yeah.
don't know. Anyway, it's strange. Where was this taken? Do we know where it was?
No.
Looks like California.
Where was it?
Hogwarts.
Hogwarts.
Yeah.
How tall is a
So
car?
we actually have Dobby.
Depends.
Dobby actually is on the phone, I believe. Do we have
Hello,
Dobby?
Dobby here.
Dobby. So a lot of people don't realize that you like to do these little strolls at night. What was going on in that particular video?
Well, Dobby likes to go for a walk late at night, but apparently society's not okay with that.
Oh, so-
People out, Dobby just likes to go into people's homes and tell them they should not go back to Hogwarts this year, but then they get really mad at Dobby.
Well, yeah, your video went viral, and sometimes it's not a good thing, Dobby.
Well,
so
any press is good press for Dobby.
yeah, all right, good point. Thank you, Dobby.
It's so good.
Dobby.
Thanks for checking in, Dobby.
Can we
Yeah.
get? We haven't seen Dobby in so long.
Well, yeah,
It was so nice to have Dobby
he's
back.
been walking around in neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see him. And one more question for Dobby. There's a basketball hoop. Did you shoot some hoops, Dobby?
Dobby attempted, did not go well. Couldn't even
Oh.
hit the rim.
Oh, I'm
I just
sorry.
kinda tossed the ball up and it came back and hit Dobby's face.
No, sorry, Dobby. Right.
Has Dobby ever participated in the celebrity impression dating game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dobby lost.
Good to have Dobby back on the show.
My goodness.
Who voiced Dobby in the movies?
I don't know.
There was no voice. Dobby is
was Dobby.
real.
It was
clearly.
Dobby. It was Dobby. Yeah. Who Dobby voice? I'm not sure. It's probably like. Let's see, who is it?
Is it Andy-
Toby Jones. Oh, Toby Jones.
what
I
the
love Toby
hell?
Jones. Did you know that?
Did not know that.
No.
Wow, I'm sure Kevin Smets and Rachel Cushing and Kevin
yeah.
Hart
Yes.
screamed
They knew
out at the
that.
top of their lungs.
Yeah.
Let me. Have you guys ever seen the show The Detectorists? He's in it. Toby Jones is in
Is
it.
that the prequel to
Never
True
heard of
Detective?
it.
No, it's a British show. It's
Oh.
about these guys in Sussex, which is like a part of England.
Let me guess.
right?
David Griffin turned you onto it.
Yes, of course. And they own a metal detecting club. They like run a metal detecting club. It's just like these people that do metal detecting, looking for treasure in the fields. And it's the guy who played Gareth in the British Office, and then he was one of those wildlings that Jon Snow killed in season 3. He's got like a real defined jawline. See this guy right here,
Mackenzie Crook.
Yeah. It is like one of the most underrated comedies. It is so
good.
subtle. It's,
Yeah.
it's only 3 seasons on Netflix. It's very, very funny.
I finally watched Big Little Lies.
And?
So good. Meryl
right?
Streep is so good.
Yeah, she's good. Would you
so
consider
good.
her a villain?
No.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
No. She
Dude,
didn't
when
do
she
anything
screams
villainous.
at that dinner table, she's a villain.
No,
I don't know about
but I
villain.
kind of wish that scene went differently. Like, I think that the kids should have screamed too. I was down with that.
You think that kids are going to scream when their grandmother screams like that?
It was pretty
I would have
terrifying.
cried.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was pretty
If
terrifying.
I was 7 years old or 6 years old, I remember those
Oh,
kids
she
are.
said we should just scream. I agree.
Yeah.
Everybody scream.
The kids don't. When the grandmother screams at that volume with that scream,
It was
there was
pretty.
no
it was blood
way.
curdling too.
And that's something like, would your mother-in-law, if she were to do that at the table, Vivian would start
She
crying.
couldn't. She couldn't hit that octave.
No,
chance.
that's a Meryl Streep only
I'm
octave.
going to attempt to scream.
I also I'm now caught up on Black Mirror. I need one of you guys to get on board.
Oh, I watched the first episode.
Go ahead. Mark Reilly can do it.
Viper Strike? No.
Just wrote no.
You didn't like you didn't like Viper Strike?
Are you kidding me?
I think it's my favorite of
loved
the
it.
three. I think it's my favorite of the
It
three.
was fascinating when the thing happens, because I don't want to spoil it. When the thing happens, I was like,
That's Meryl Streep.
That is the actual scream.
That is the actual
That is
scream
the
from
scream
Big
that
Little
she
Lies.
does at the
"You're
dinner table.
kidding."
No.
Okay, I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you not watched that series?
No.
Oh, dude, watch
yeah,
the series.
we have it.
It's really good.
Yeah, we have it queued up. We want to see it. We've been so behind on all the TV.
You're saying if somebody did that at your dinner table, you wouldn't just clam up?
I grew up very different than you guys did.
That was Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? With that kind of scream at your dinner table, that's how you grew up differently.
I mean, that's like walking in on a murder.
Yes.
Is that
That
Thanksgiving at the
does not-
Roxy
that-
household?
I don't.
No.
That's a 1970s blood-curdling scream and like, here are the adventures of Jeeper Man. And it's, the Jeeper Man's coming, Jeeper Man.
But let me tell you
Who's
something.
Cheaper Man?
I'll tell you.
he produces that blood-curdling scream.
You might not be on the same page with that, but if you're not on the same page with the next bit of nonsense, then then you're all dead to me, because like this mall was like flooding. I think it was in Mexico,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And so there was a band playing, and they saw the flood, and they started playing a song, which here's the clip. So this is.
I
Have
was
you seen this,
giggling.
Roxy?
I was
so
giggling
d-
profusely.
Yeah. So
But I
it's-
know what it
You know what it is. So the mall it's got this big huge leak, and it's like the whole mall is flooding with cars
Right near the Mobo shop and the Go-Go.
And then there's a band playing off to the side, and they start playing the Titanic theme. It's really good. It's really good.
That is
Why is
Dobby
nobody
like
getting
on
out
their
of
toes.
this building though?
Because they're shopping.
the shopping.
They're
and-
bringing the women and children out first.
that is some high level improv shit right there.
That is really, really good.
That is
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. And the
It's
guy's
a-
on the Kenny G sax. The Kenny G
yes,
You
sax.
think they knew, right?
Yeah, of course. He must have turned. I would.
Look,
But
they brought a mop bucket out to try and catch it.
That's the best part of
That's
that.
good.
I just noticed that.
see, I would pay money to have the fireworks hammer guy come in now. And I love how there's people like
Yes.
lined up watching. But I wish at the end of this, the other guy turns to the other guy and goes, "Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure playing with you."
yes. Just locks up the violin and
Yeah.
just jumps in the ocean.
So- into the mop. The mop
I
bucket.
think that this kind of video is good.
You don't like it.
No, I think it's
okay.
good.
Okay, good. Thank you, Roxy.
Correct.
It was good.
Nobody's getting hurt. It's kind of funny. There's no cats and stuff.
7.1 million views. Good,
Imagine
deserves it.
thinking that mop bucket is going to stop a waterfall.
It's really good.
Imagine that.
That's
That is
comedy.
funny.
That's comedy. Like I would have preferred a smaller bucket,
Smaller bucket.
or like little cups.
Little solo.
Yeah, little solo cups, or those little mini Dixie cups, like 1,000 of them. Just all over.
Trying to balance them all.
Yeah, oh, that's good.
Good stuff.
That's it.
It's really good.
Other,
That's really good.
Other good stuff too is so Ryan Satin, obviously, who's part of Pro Wrestling Sheet, and you can ProWrestlingSheet.com, and also you can find the podcast Pro Wrestling Sheet. He talked with Bautista yesterday for like 45 minutes
About Stuber.
about everything. 45 minutes. He talked to him about. He definitely brought up James Gunn stuff, but he talked obviously a lot of wrestling stuff. And I don't know if he brought up AEW stuff, but he certainly brought up because John Moxley's been talking about the creative process a lot on a lot of podcasts. And so Satin asked Bautista about the creative process and if it's good. And Bautista also said it's probably the worst it's ever been right now. I'm paraphrasing.
Is he competing in the WWE still?
What's that?
Batista.
He came
for one
for
wrestling
one,
match.
yeah.
So here's some of the highlights. Can you zoom in a little bit? So why he chose Stuber as his first comedy, accidentally revealing Avengers Endgame spoilers promoting Infinity War, James Gunn returning to Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, the Evolution reunion teasing a match against Triple H, being concerned for Ric Flair dragging the WWE legend at his birthday celebration, not being able to rehearse his match ahead of time and how he was happy how it turned out in the end, the retirement going down on his terms, the WWE creative becoming worse to deal with, resenting people who haven't wrestled having a say behind the scenes, and a phone call he had with The Undertaker prior to WWE Super Showdown. Now that's just a couple of things. They talked for a while, and I'm going to listen to that interview on the way home because I'm very curious.
Where can you find that?
Either on podcast Pro Wrestling Sheet, and you can also go to Collider.com and you can find the audio there. So it's but that's a great get. That's a great get. I'm looking at that ad on the side there too. I don't know why people do that to their faces with the plastic surgery.
Oh my God!
Look at that guy.
Who is that?
I don't know who that is, but it's like.
But don't click on it because now you're gonna have to go through 40
No, yeah.
of these
45 to
things,
find
and
that guy. That
it's
guy's gonna be
ridiculous.
last.
No, I want to find him. Please, please,
No,
please.
we're gonna be here
please,
forever. Do it during the
please,
break.
Please,
Lyle Lovett.
Please.
That's not Lyle Lovett.
Please.
It's Pennywise.
Anyway, so I'm very curious to see
I
what
have some
Batista has
friends
to
who are
say.
doing that to their faces
But
right now.
so Roxy, let me ask you a question then too, because I know you were.
Please.
Do you think that the WWE creative should change?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
do. I do.
You still just don't think people should be talking about it publicly.
I'm super torn because I think that the only way to incite change is to get enough awareness going on. But at the same time, just me personally, I don't feel comfortable doing something
Right.
like that. And I think that there's more respectful ways to do it.
Okay. Let's say that you were part of them for a long time in your storyline, right? And then you were gone with the company, and then they said to you, "So were you happy with the way that it was all going down, the creative there?" Would you say no comment, or would you talk on it?
I might say something like, truthfully, if I had been involved with picking my storyline, I might not necessarily have gone that direction,
Right.
but I'm really appreciative and grateful and respect what they chose.
Okay, that's fair. Once again, you guys can go check out that interview with Ryan Satin and Batista. Go check it out. Reilly, some news,
Yeah.
things going on.
Been a lot of news lately.
What's happening?
That's good.
The Rock responded to my tweet. That's the biggest
The
news.
Rock responded to your
crazy.
tweet, which was nuts.
It's big.
He
That's the
wrote
biggest
an
news of the day.
epic response, too.
Yeah.
Not a one-word response. It was a multi-paragraph response.
I don't say paragraph because you can't really do that in 280
No, but he did.
characters.
It was 2 sections.
It was a
It's
big
maybe
response.
2 sentences.
the 2 sections.
Yeah.
He's very active
Yeah.
on Twitter.
He's
and he
the man.
responds
He's
to
like-
a lot of people. Yeah.
Dude, he is
There it is. This is last
our modern.
reply.
See,
Why?
2 sections.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so Josh said, I don't doubt The Rock ever. So when I saw the trailer for Hobbs and Shaw in a theater and someone scoffed when he pulled a helicopter from the back of a tank car, I turned politely and said, "You scoff at The Rock, you scoff at America." Turned around and enjoyed my movie. To which Dwayne Johnson replied, "You're a fine human being, my friend. Thanks for having my back. Not sure why someone would scoff at that, though. I've been pulling helicopters since I strutted out of the womb." I mean,
Strutted out of the womb.
That's The Rock.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
that's-
he does the serving emoji.
So let's see. So it's 77 retweets for Macuga and 2,959 likes and 88 retweets for The Rock.
And then I got the
Amazing.
Rock copter like on that thing.
It's good.
Collider Live bit. Yeah, from Mark's man.
Yeah.
It's good. No, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's always been very active with his fans and in general, and that's
You think it's him or you think it's an assistant?
100% him.
That
Yep.
ass.
100% him.
Ass,
Yeah,
ass.
he's very active on social media, and he's also tapped into it the same way like Vin Diesel has, and Dane Cook was one of the first like back in the day to really embrace social media for marketing. That's why The Rock's social media accounts really is like a
Insane.
multi-million.
I want
Yeah.
Dane Cook
Yeah.
to come in here every day.
I know you do.
I love him.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Speaking of The Rock,
Cool story.
we have a director for Black Adam.
We do.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Jaume Collet-Serra?
Jaume Collet-Serra.
Jaume
They're
Collet-Serra.
working on that movie
Jungle Cruise.
together. Jaume Collet-Serra, I had a pleasure, working with and a lot during the Joel Silver days.
Really? Oh, right.
Very good
Why?
director. He did. I think he was doing. Wasn't House of Wax? It was House of Wax. I think it was one of the first
think
ones that he
that's-
did.
Is that the
On
Paris
this.
Hilton one?
Yeah.
She got stuck in.
Yeah. So he was very, and then he started doing a lot of stuff with Silver. But he was very close with Eric Olson, who I worked with, and Ethan Irwin, and
He's done a bunch of horror stuff that I've seen.
Yeah, he did The Shallows, and he's done a lot of the Liam Neeson movies. I think
Commuter and the other one.
Not Unbroken?
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? No, Unknown.
Commuter, Run All Night,
Nonstop. Orphan. Orphan was the big one. Orphan was the one that we worked on because that was with Eric. It was Eric Olsen's like baby. Orphan, and him and Jaume Collet-Serra.
What's Orphan about?
Orphan is this little girl gets adopted by this family. She starts terrorizing them, and the spoiler for those who've never seen it, turns out like she's like she looks like a child, but she's actually like a grown woman. And it was actually a really good reveal. What's going on, Roxy?
I'm looking at his IMDb.
Jaume Collet-Serra.
Yeah,
It's right there. It's right there.
It's right in front of you.
So The Shallows was one, The Commuter, Jungle Cruise, and then Black Adam because he was circling around something else. I forget something big. I think it was Suicide Squad. It was Suicide Squad.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah. It was Suicide Squad. He was getting very close to doing that before they brought Gunn on.
Nonstop is what I meant. Unstoppable is that one with the train and Denzel Washington. I think
That's such a good one.
That's a really
Unstoppable.
good movie. Yeah. That's
But what is the process here? Does The Rock just love working with him, so he brings him on?
I'm assuming that's probably a big thing. I mean, because the other thing was he was, from what I remember hearing, is that he was very close. I think he was offered Suicide Squad, and he chose Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
The first Suicide Squad.
No, the sequel.
This one before they were talking to James Gunn, they offered it to him, and it was between either taking that or Jungle Cruise, and he chose to go work with The Rock, and that probably spoke volumes to The Rock, obviously, and The Rock probably.
I also think there was a lot of directors that didn't want to touch Suicide Squad too. Or the Suicide
There
Squad.
were, for sure, like at top. So Jaume Collet-Serra turns down Suicide Squad 2 for Dwayne Johnson's Jungle Cruise. Adam Shitwood reported on this in 2017. So July 31st, 2017. Wow. So we're looking
My
at.
birthday.
Is that really?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Happy birthday, Cody.
Happy birthday, Cody.
Cody, you're such a Leo.
So, yeah, he is. So
we talked about this on Movie Talk on Friday briefly. I was reading the breakdown of what Black Adam is. It's kind of like the anti-Shazam.
The villain.
Yeah.
Did you see Shazam?
I have, and I really liked it. I actually really enjoyed it.
So there's a scene in Shazam, and correct me if I'm wrong. I know that people will. That when in the beginning of the movie, what do they call this? Was it the sins or the
seven dead?
Seven.
The seven.
Is it seven?
Yeah.
Okay. So those sins, when they said that that they had chosen their champion at one point, and their champion was Black Adam.
Gotcha. He's like Egyptian in the comics.
Is that what he is?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but either way, so he's like the opposite of Shazam.
Right.
So,
Like he comes from like ancient times, Egyptian, and like exactly.
So, I mean, he's been.
They're supposed to like look very similar, but just be one is evil, one is good.
Yeah.
Right.
The Rock has been on the. Attached to this movie for such a long time. Crazy. I want to see The Rock play. I mean, The Rock's played a villain kind of before when he was in Doom. Remember, the reveal was that, but he's never. But not the Terminator role. You know, like when Schwarzenegger came out in '84. Like people advised him against doing that role because it's like no, you just did Conan. You can't be a villain now.
Yeah.
Like, and it helped his career out tremendously.
That's one of those movies, like the original Terminator, that I wish I could go back in time and be around when it first came out in theaters to hear the reaction, like the word of mouth from people when they first saw it. Because it's sort of like Star Wars. People thought it was going to be a flop, and then it changed the world. Terminator, same thing. I remember like my dad telling me that he took my mom on a date night to see Terminator, and they both walked out like, "What was that?"
Well, Terminator also because.
Yeah, in a good way. Like, holy cow, that movie's crazy.
Well, it was revolutionary for sure, and it was made for, I don't know, like $2 million or something ridiculous back in the day, if that. And the thing with the back then in like '84, it's like people forget how powerful VHS was.
Oh yeah,
like VHS was powerful because like, you didn't have to necessarily have a big. The opening weekend thing, that's like today, right? Like the opening weekend thing, like it would build and like you said, word of mouth. But then I remember seeing it on VHS, and it started really gaining popularity through like HBO and everything too. That's how movies used to really get popular back then, not just their opening weekends and having big theatrical runs.
We had one of those uncles that really didn't know like what you could and could not show kids, so he showed my brother and I Terminator when I was like 7.
Oh my god.
And my brother was 9. And we both loved it, though. We both thought it was like the coolest effing thing in the world. Because we didn't like horror movies, but I don't think the Terminator is a horror movie. I think it's just like an action.
The first movie is very horror. the first one, it's very horror.
Okay.
I mean, it's even pitched that. It was like but my favorite line that, of course, when I saw it, I was like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Fuck you, asshole.
Yeah.
When he's sitting down and his skin is rotting and he's pulling stuff out and hey buddy, what do you got, a dead cat in there? And he's scanning through the options of what to respond to. Fuck you, asshole. All right. Guy walks off. So good.
It's a very like if you were to pitch that movie today, if Terminator had never existed, and you pitched it as this like time travel horror with all this kind of a thing, I think it doesn't get laughed out of the room. But as soon as they pitch Schwarzenegger in that role, they're like, oh, so we got The Rock coming in for this thing. This is what's going to sell it. Same with Schwarzenegger. They were like, this is.
Well, yeah, but the thing is today though, like because of movies like the Terminator, today every genre movie is like, whoa, maybe it could be something big.
The next Terminator.
Back in the day, like people forget, like Star Wars used the example for like '77 when that movie came out. It was like Chinatown were like the big movies, you know, like the
Love Story.
It was the sci-fi blockbuster, big thing. That wasn't a thing.
No,
it wasn't a thing. Like Jaws was a blockbuster, right? But that was about a shark that was swimming around killing people. Yeah. There was no fantasy sci-fi thing. People were like, what is this kids thing that they're making with Star Wars? And they do, and then that opens the door for movies again like Alien to shift the genre because everybody started to try to do Star Wars actors like Flash Gordon and everything. Everyone started to try to do movies like that. And they couldn't do it. Yeah. And Ridley Scott, to his credit, was like, no. Because when he pitched it, like, you're going to do Star Wars? I'm going to do the anti-Star Wars. Right. I'm going to do, like...
What really happened.
What
Jaws
year
in
was
space.
Flash Gordon?
Was that? Yeah, Flash Gordon was 80.
Okay.
Yeah, 80.
It looked like it was 70.
It was... I mean, I love the movie.
I know you do.
But it's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
But I love it.
Isn't it interesting that they're calling Jumanji 3? I mean, I guess technically.
It's a third film.
I think it's a little working title, maybe.
No. The second movie was a straight up sequel. I mean, they find the game on the beach.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Why not? It doesn't have the same character.
It doesn't say it doesn't because it doesn't say Jumanji 2: Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Is it? You're right. It's just Jumanji: Welcome.
Because I don't think they
you're
thought
right. It could be a working title, but but it
just-
definitely is a sequel. I mean, because they had to.
No, it's in the same universe for
Yeah.
sure. It's just I don't think of Jumanji 3 as Jumanji 3. It seems like the second part of this new.
It's a soft reboot, but connected. They are,
Yeah.
you know, like Jurassic World is connected to Jurassic Park.
I liked what they did.
They're not
was so
calling it
shocked.
Jurassic Park 5 or whatever.
Yeah,
Correct.
Did you see Jumanji 2 yet?
Yeah.
Have you seen it? I was so shocked by that movie.
Yeah.
I
It
think
was
that's
great.
why they called it Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. It was like, because if this bombs, we're not going to do another one.
Right.
But then it was so good that they were just.
It crushed.
I love that movie.
Farthest thing from bomb. That movie. I don't know if it made $1 billion, but it made a lot of money. How much?
Yeah.
Cody, you mind checking how much the movie made?
I mean, international, I would maybe my guess is 300 million.
Over worldwide? Worldwide, I bet you did 700 to 800.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was higher than
I wouldn't be
300.
surprised if it hit $1 billion, to be honest with you. But what did it?
Lifetime gross 400 million. See how it was in point?
Really? No, that's domestic.
Oh.
962 million.
Yeah.
Almost $1
Holy
billion.
jeez, I want
Yeah,
to go
knew it
like
was
them.
close.
That is.
I know.
just
I
It
loved
was.
that movie. They were all so funny.
Cost
Yeah.
$90 million to make. That is a profitable film.
Yes.
Damn.
Holy moly.
Yeah, that was a profitable
I
film.
mean, you got the profit is the Kevin Hart, The Rock dynamic is very, very profitable. But Karen Gillan was a breakout star in that.
She
movie.
was great.
And then you add Jack
And
Black
Jack
to
Black
it.
was
She's
fantastic.
a star in everything she's in. I
She's
think.
great.
Dude, Kevin Hart, who sometimes does a lot of the same stuff, and his January movies usually that come out.
The
I'm just
Night
like,
School.
oh, just
Yeah.
not great. I laughed so hard at one of those lines when they were going over the list of the strengths, and he's like,
Cake. Yeah.
one of my weaknesses is cake. I laughed so hard. I was like almost crying because it was just a funny movie.
Wasn't that interesting hearing Seth talk about finding Jack and just thinking he was so
I sent out a
funny.
tweet yesterday. I was like, one of the coolest parts of the interview was hearing that it got like 13 likes. I was like, guys, Airborne, come on, what the farts?
Well, you know what was funny about that because I didn't realize.
Yeah.
That was one of our best interviews that we ever did
sure.
yesterday, and I texted Reilly last night, and Cody loves when I give him extra work to do, but like I thought about it because we didn't even promote that they were on the show yesterday, you know, in the title anyway, and we just like
It wasn't in the title?
It wasn't in the title. I didn't realize that when I got home. It was just whatever the topic was yesterday. So,
Strange.
and then we only had one. Then we only had one clip out from it.
What was the clip out?
It was
They're talking about Robot Chicken.
Robot Chicken.
How are you going to not clip out Rat Race? They said
But what I said was then I was like, you know what? We got to just clip out that whole entire interview. So the entire interview is up.
Yeah.
Okay, so the entire interview with Seth Green and Breckin Myers on the Collider Live channel. So you really should listen to that if you haven't. I those are the type of interviews that I want to do every day. Because it wasn't even an interview. They were just here shooting the shit, talking. They talked about their movie, then they talked about other things. They goofed around, and you could tell that Breckin and him have been buddies forever. Because Seth's kind of it's funny because Seth's it's like on screen, he's just such a funny guy and he's such a talented actor. You can tell he's a little bit more serious in real life. You know, at least in this thing. I don't know the man as far as a friend, and Breckin's just kind of shooting the shit, says whatever he is, but they balance each other out so well.
Yeah.
Did you see Breckin for 20 minutes was just trying to figure out what all that stuff on the wall was?
Yeah, he was just kind of observing everything. What was so funny about it is I mentioned to him about the basketball thing, and it's like a friend of mine used to play with you. Lo and behold, Tom shows up and he's outside. Because Tom was the one I was talking about that he used to play basketball with Breckin and those guys, and so right away they recognize each other. And the first thing Tom does is hey, I'm gonna send you something.
Yeah.
And he sends him Little Bobby and the Juice.
Yeah.
So Breckin Myers
Not a bad move to send it to Robot Chicken.
No,
creator.
To Tom's credit, he said he's like it's very similar to the kind of what you guys do over there, at Robot Chicken, and it has that type of feel for sure. So I thought that was it was nice to see that reunion because that's how I always knew Breckin was through Tom. And it was cool that they hadn't seen each other in years, so that was a nice little reunion.
Tom ripped out Achilles, hasn't really played since.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I know. Well, I remember he hurt himself. That was 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because
I was talking to Tom for a while yesterday. He has one of the most interesting life stories. Did you do a one-on-one with him?
I did. Well, I did two of them. I did one. The one-on-one that I did on Collider Live or the Collider channel was really good. But the one I did, if you go back to it was just called the Kristian Harloff podcast, and you go back to that feed, that's when he really told everything.
I could not believe it.
Yeah, it's real. It's all real, for sure.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty crazy story.
Got a big booty.
Yeah.
He does have a big
because you know what I admire about him, though?
Yeah.
Oh, that's his sister.
Yeah, that's true. You know what I admire about
Stick
Tom,
that
though,
booty.
too, is that all the stuff that's happened to Tom in his life, others would use it as an excuse to be angry and to, whether it's fight and just be combative. He's not. He's just not
the
like
outlier
that.
in that situation.
Yeah.
Too.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. No, a lot of people use because he has from all the stuff that he's gone through some shit. I mean, some serious shit, and he is. He's just it's you would never know it because he's just so. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's why he and I got along so well. I mean, he told me his life story over that 3-day Comic-Con where he and I became really good buddies. And I was like, "Are you making half this up?" And he's like, "No."
Yeah,
No,
it
it's all
sounds
real.
like that when he's talking.
Yeah, it's true.
I had heard a lot of it before, but this was the first time I had heard it consecutively.
Yeah,
What the?
I know. It's
Oh,
nuts.
yeah.
It makes yours look boring.
Yeah, 100%.
Totally.
Which is the farthest thing from
me, you, anybody.
Yeah,
No, I know.
yeah.
Well, I'm
Most
just saying
people.
she has such a crazy story
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
and it's
Yeah,
just
but it was wild.
Yeah.
I mean, even from his living situation
right.
growing up, I was like,
Everything.
"What do you mean?"
No, his uncle and everything.
Yeah.
Go back if you guys have a chance to either listen to the old Kristian Harloff podcast. I believe that might even be up on the Schmodown channel. But then obviously go back to he told a lot of the stories on the one-on-one that I did with him on this channel too. So or on the main Collider channel. All right, what time is it?
10
right now?
till.
10
Chicken
till.
and booty,
12
oh,
till.
what
All right, let's do one more. We'll do another story, and
Let's,
then
yeah.
we'll have our guest.
Let's go over to stay with Kevin Hart.
Yes.
He is remaking Scrooged.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
no,
What's wrong?
no.
I don't know.
Here's what I think.
Like
It's-
he's gonna be in it?
I can already see the trailer.
Yeah, Scrooged is a riff on Dickens, right? On Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Just have him do his version of it.
Right.
And
he doesn't have to do Scrooge.
Leave Scrooged.
Right.
I just don't think it needs to be remade.
I just think this climate is so prime for a Scrooged, for a Scrooged reboot. And we talked about already. I like Kevin Hart. I think I'm gonna like this movie a lot.
You with your facts, you might be right.
I mean,
it actually is nowadays for a Frank Cross.
Well, the technology
running
and
a
everything
television
today too, and with streaming and all those kind of things that he could do. I mean, you could definitely up
Yeah.
it for sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Will The Rock be one of the ghosts of Christmas
That would
past
be
or
great.
future?
That would be great.
Yeah. You got to get some good
I want him
comedians
to
in there.
Yeah.
Carol Kane's character.
Yeah.
I want him, The
Oh, okay.
Rock, to
Okay.
be the president.
Who's
Ghost
gonna
of president.
Who's gonna be Buster Poindexter?
Oh,
Go
man,
back to Jersey.
Moron.
That's a pretty good one.
I don't know. So good.
man.
Gilbert Godfrey.
Gilbert Godfrey. Would be great.
Gilbert Godfrey, though, still to this day, because I told you my daughter is so obsessed right now with Aladdin, like overly obsessed with it, right?
Yeah.
Like knows all the words, all the songs already too. But like the one thing that I have found joy with is going back and revisiting Gilbert Godfrey's Iago. You got a problem, Pinky? Slams out the things, the flamencos thing.
It is pretty fun.
It's really good.
Who plays Iago in this one? In the new one?
There's no voice to it. There's no
just a
voice to it.
bird?
It's
I
just
do.
a bird. Yeah,
You do.
Roxy does.
That's kind of a
Oh,
shame.
what
Just
a bummer.
bird.
Did you not see the movie yet, Ryan?
Oh, I'm assuming it.
Yeah.
What? It was the best.
I won't see it until it's on TV or a streaming
Yeah, but
service or
I'd
whatever.
expect that of you, Riley. I expect better.
I was surprised
Yeah, I
Riley
know.
didn't see it. Yeah.
It's
I got a lot of
been
movies to
bad.
watch.
It's been bad, yeah. I have
got
a lot of movies.
I
I am
do too.
so behind.
I got to re-up my Stubbs card too.
Yeah.
I had it,
I
ran out.
finally joined ArcLight because
Oh,
we
good.
go. It's because I want more movies.
What's your Stubbs card?
It's that the
AMC.
the AMC
Oh,
thing.
oh,
basically.
Bring
got it.
that booty over.
Yeah, it's just it's because I wanted to.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I had it, and I just didn't re-up my credit card. And I have
Got
to
it,
do it, but I need to use it because there's a lot of movies that I haven't seen that I missed, and I
Because
gotta
of
check it
screening
out.
stuff, yeah.
There's just too many screenings that I missed. There's so many good movies out right now.
You got to start making it like a you and Vivian thing, so you can use it as like a parent bonding thing to explain it to Sadie to keep taking her to movies.
I know. Well, I next week you and I are gonna go see a movie.
Are we doing Monday?
I think we'll do Monday.
What are you guys going to see? Fighting with My Family?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched that with my wife last night.
Nice. Did she like it?
She did.
Yeah.
She did, and it was because she's definitely not a wrestling fan. But I was watching. But the story we're like have like 20 minutes left because it was just too late at that point. But no, she liked it, and it's just a really good movie.
It's a good movie.
A really
it's a
good
really
movie.
heartfelt, good movie. It could have gone in like one of those, especially with the brother, of like way too over sulking and that kind of
the true
stuff. But
story.
like,
He
it's-
is
yeah, I know.
he's amazingly talented.
The actor?
Yeah.
The guy that put the brother.
Yeah.
He was so
He was good.
Very
He
well
was
done.
really good.
Even Lena Headley was
Headey.
Yeah. No, he's
heady.
Sure.
He'd Lee.
Headley.
I
She's
love
always
the people who don't know right now.
The joke, and then, they're screaming at you right now. Yeah.
Lena Headley was fantastic in it, and Nick Frost was great in it.
Yeah, they're all really
Yeah.
good, and I was worried when that movie started that it was just going to be like an over the top, ready to rumble comedy, and it wasn't. It's got a lot of heart. It's still one of my favorites of the year.
I love when they show what her parents actually look like. At the end of the movie, and I was like, and it's not Lena Headley.
You love Headley.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Heath for the win.
yeah.
What was the other one that we loved? Bibliani.
Bibliani was my
Bibliani.
favorite.
Bibliani.
That was really good. Bibliani was good. Okay, look, Bibliani is not here. But coming in at 11 o'clock, Gabriel Bateman, the star of Child's Play, will be here. We're going to talk to him. And then we're going to take some phone calls and stuff from you guys around 11:30.
Well,
yeah, 11:30.
because we've got this X-Men might not be in. That's
X-Men.
our main
We'll
story.
talk about- we'll talk about
But
that
there's
after
still a
Gabriel.
lot of
Frozen.
news. Frozen
And
2
Frozen.
trailer.
Yeah, we'll talk about all that stuff a little later.
What's
Oh, we're going to break. Okay.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well. Once again, it's every Saturday and Sunday on the Collider video feed, and also you can listen to us on podcast, on the Movie Talk podcast feed, every Saturday and Sunday.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video on the YouTube as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, Every week, we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Hey guys, Perry Nemiroff here to let you know that The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that Horrorville podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. We also have clips on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel, and on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the Witching Hour.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Hey guys, Perry here to let you know about the new edition of Collider Movie Talk. We are going to 5 days a week. We have a short, sweet 20-minute show where we focus on the two biggest stories of the day. You can expect to see all of your favorite Collider personalities on the show, including Jeff Snyder, John Roca, Haley Fouch. You're getting Josh Macuga every Friday. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be informative, fun. Come join us. 3 p.m. PT live every single day of the week, right here on the Collider Video YouTube channel. You can also find the show on the Collider Movie Talk feed on our podcast network, so go watch, go listen, however you prefer to get all of your movie news.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, you know, if you've been watching us every week, you know we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh Macuga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel. And if you want to take us along with you in your ears, you can go and subscribe to the Collider Sports podcast feed for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Reilly here. Let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Reilly Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Kristian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars, and if you want to catch our weekly show where we talk about the latest and greatest in Star Wars, it's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel, and you can listen, you can watch, you can do all of it, but if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out, and then after Episode 9, you got TV shows, so we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real.
Welcome back to Collider Live, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's so funny, when I was growing up, one of the movies that scared the absolute hell out of me was Child's Play. And it was just, it's one of those movies that just stuck with you.
As a kid?
As a kid, man. The original.
When did you watch for the first time?
I mean, I was probably like 10 when I saw the first one, and it was.
No offense. No offense. I'll never watch any of them.
No,
because he's too scared.
He's scared.
He's
scared of everything.
I'm scared of everything.
But and then, you know, obviously, a friend of the show and someone that we admire very much. There was an announcement not too long ago that Mark Hamill was going to be doing the voice of one of the most infamous villains in horror movie history, in Chucky. Child's Play is coming back, and ladies and gentlemen, playing Andy, Gabriel Bateman is joining us here today in the studio. How are you, man?
Well, how are you?
Are you excited or what?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm really, really excited. I think I'm the most excited I've ever been about a project before. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm beyond thrilled.
Well, it's funny because I was looking at some of the credits too that you did in another movie. You've been in 2 movies of things that I've known very well as a kid. One obviously being Child's Play, the other was Benji. And so you're doing it's very different films.
Yeah.
Very different movies.
Yeah, I try to get a range
Yeah,
out there as
totally.
much as I can.
Well, tell me about this one though. So when you heard this movie, the auditions coming out, is there? I don't know how it is as far as is there hesitation as far as doing a movie like this, or is it like I want to try to do it? Like how does that work?
I don't know. I was really excited pretty much right from the bat because I figured out it was Child's Play just based off the sides.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to be part of something so iconic. But I really, decided once I got the script and I read through it because every character is so well written and there's so much range and depth. It was mostly just based off the script that I decided to take
How
it.
old are you? 30? Jesus, you like, speak so well. God, when I was your age, I was like, I like sticks and bow and arrows and guns. Yeah.
I do like bow and arrows.
You said you figured it out off the sides. Like you personally were able to, or somebody else kind of cued you in on it.
Well, it's funny actually because I just recently was watching a bunch of clips of Child's Play for some reason right before the audition came in.
On YouTube, just randomly?
Yeah, just on YouTube.
Yeah. Are you okay? Do you need some don't watch that. It's real scary, man.
Yeah, no, I don't usually watch movies. I just kind of watch clips and summaries. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's a generation.
Yeah, totally.
But I was watching a bunch of clips for Child's Play, and then I got the sides, and I was like, oh, weird, like a psycho doll? That's kind of sounds familiar. So then I looked up the fake name they had, and there was some information.
So what I've seen in the trailer, I haven't seen the film yet, but what I've seen in the trailer is that this is kind of a different version of Andy than we've seen before. Because in the original version, Andy was kind of timid and he wasn't really hanging with any friends. He just kind of had this loner doll. But in this, it seems as if he's got a little bit more strength to him, and he runs with a pack. Is that accurate?
Right. Well, in the beginning, he actually has no friends besides his mom, which is kind of like me.
It's definitely like me.
No. But that's why he gets so attached to Chucky, is because Chucky's his first real friend. But later, towards the middle and towards the end of the movie, he makes a group of friends because Chucky helps him get more confident. But yeah, he's older in this one, obviously, and he's more mature, which allows for a stronger connection between Chucky and Andy because it's not unusual for Andy to be left alone with Chucky or going on walks with Chucky, whereas if he's 6, then he can't really spend all that time alone with Chucky because his mom would have to be there most of the time.
Yeah, and it's good. It changes up the movie though too, because you never want to see the same thing you saw before, and you want to. And I think when you look at something like Stranger Things that is kind of blown up too, and this kind of dynamic of a friendship thing, it's a new way to add something to a story that you might know, but maybe not know it the way you think you do.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in watching a carbon copy of the exact same thing if you're not gonna put some sort of twist on it.
That's right. Did you get a chance to we knew that Mark Hamill is doing the voice, and I know a lot of time with the voice you just do it to a mic. Did you get a chance to meet him at all?
I met him 2 days ago. Actually,
cool.
For the first time.
On the interview or something? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he's a great dude.
I've been a fan of him for a while.
You a big Star Wars guy?
You just watch his clips.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously know him from Star Wars, but I was a fan of his performance as the Joker mostly. He's always been my favorite voice for the Joker.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Wow. You made the joke about your friends, but you are a working kid and in school also. Do you have time to see your friends ever?
Well, I'm homeschooled, so that makes it easier, but also that means I don't really have any friends from school. But yeah, definitely. I'm not working all the time. I mean, I would say I'm working maybe 20 to 30% of the years, especially with acting. It's so inconsistent. It's not like a 9-to-5 job. It's like if you book, then you work. If you don't, then you don't work. So yeah, most of the time I'm just relaxing. So.
How does that start for you? Do you approach your parents and you say, "I just love this and I want to do this," or do they come to you?
No. Well, my sister was an actress before I was, and I watched this behind the scenes video of her filming on set, and I thought it looked really fun, and I was kind of jealous, so I asked my parents if I could do it, and then after some convincing, they said yes. So yeah.
How old were you when you started acting?
I think 9.
9, okay.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
14.
14.
And so if you're 14, you see a kid walking around with a little Chucky doll, you're gonna kind of give him a little jab for what's this dude walking around with this Chucky doll for?
Yeah, I mean that was one of the bigger criticisms from when people first heard that Andy was 14.
Yeah.
But I think with this one, he's an AI with like hundreds of different functions, so it's more like more of a piece of technology than a doll almost.
Right. It's not, so we're not playing with the same. Do you know a lot about the original now?
Yeah.
So-
I mean, I don't want to say a lot because there are some super fans out there that know like everything.
No, but I mean you're familiar enough
yeah,
with
I'm familiar
it.
with
But so
You've seen the whole thing?
Yeah, I've seen the first two.
Oh, okay, cool. So, but we're not. So, like you said, with the AI thing, it's more of an AI thing than it is the serial killer that was in the original. I see.
It's almost like Terminator, which we were talking about before.
Right.
Like Chucky is a Terminator.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I'll be honest. Like, when I first heard about it, I was like, I don't know if they're messing with the lore. And then I thought about it. So what you just said before. I've seen there's like 8 of them from what we've seen with the serial killer. It's like put a new spin on it. And what you were just saying with Scrooged, you know, if you're going to change it up and do the technology, then and especially when you bring on somebody like a Mark Hamill, it makes the movie like, hey, look, we're doing something very different here.
Right.
So what else do you like to do besides obviously acting is a passion? But what you're a 14-year-old kid, you like to just you play sports, you play games. What's your thing?
The only sport I really play is basketball.
Cool.
I play a lot of basketball.
Big sport, yeah.
And then I don't know, pretty much everything. There's not really like one hobby that stands out. I do a lot of everything.
Do you play video games?
I only have a Mac, so it's kind of hard.
Okay.
I play some. I'm really excited for E3. Obviously, that's kind of my biggest chance to play video games each year.
Are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
That's
excited. I think I'm gonna go in like I don't know, a few hours.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah,
Nice,
I'm very
nice.
Is
excited.
anything you're looking to play? So you were mentioned before, you know, obviously with the Joker, you should look into you comic book movie type or comic book games and
Right, yeah,
because Avengers has that new game coming out and yeah. So I don't know what are you looking forward to playing?
I was looking forward to playing Borderlands 3 and Halo Infinite mostly.
Oh yeah, I saw a little bit of that trailer.
Yeah, and then there's one other one. I can't think of it now. Honestly, any game. There's so many games that I didn't know were coming out that once I try, I'm like, oh.
Was there
this is
ever a
awesome.
Child's Play game on like an old Nintendo
I'm
or
sure
Sega?
there's something.
There's they're making 2 games actually.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, one of them is less of a game and more of an experience. It's like
Yeah.
a VR thing.
Yeah.
And then the other is like this game that you can play if you order
Yeah.
tickets.
They always make me do these VR experiences because
Yeah.
I scream a lot.
Yeah.
And the kids from It got to watch me do
Oh, really?
the It experience, which is absolutely
Do you
terrifying.
want to hear an example of one of his screams?
I would love to.
Cody. When
That's real.
Oh, is that
That's
real?
Yeah,
Oh, that's amazing.
That's really what he sounds like.
You
Which
had
is-
that ready so fast.
Oh yeah.
Cody kills it.
Oh yeah.
Do you
He's like
have-
he's like
that's
he's like
also
he's like
me.
a DJ with the screams.
Do you have any rules with your parents, like what you are allowed to play and what you're not? Because a lot of the child roles.
Roxy
Especially-
doesn't know
well-
how to parent a child, so she's just.
It's a fantastic
Clearly
question,
don't.
also because that's what kind of where I was going in the beginning of that because this is like it's a rated R movie
Right.
and it's a movie that it's like it kind of deals with some deep stuff.
Right. Well, I don't know. At this point, I think not really. I think it's mostly just up to me because, I mean, obviously I look younger than I actually am. I turned 15 in like 3 months.
Okay.
That's very beneficial for
Yeah,
an
it's
actor.
super beneficial
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't.
Yeah, and if you're
I don't
homeschooled, who cares?
think so. Yeah, it used to be I wasn't really supposed to swear in anything, but at this point I have like 5 older brothers, so that's kind of hopeless.
Oh wow.
You have a sister and 5 older
I
brothers?
have 3 sisters and 5 older
You're
brothers.
one of 9.
Wow, wow.
That is a busy family. And so you and your
Of course,
sister
you're
are
all
the-
homeschool. You have a school in your house.
Are you the youngest of everybody?
I'm the youngest. yeah.
Wow. So what does everybody think as far as obviously you have your sister are you guys the only 2 actors?
To some degree, there are 2 others that kind of like
Dabbling?
yeah,
Okay.
but they don't do it as their primary career.
So how do they bust you? Your older brothers bust your chops a lot?
They used to for sure, but
Yeah.
at this point, I mean, they're
Yeah, they're
excited
cool,
to go
yeah.
to E3 and everything, so they
Right.
like some of the benefits.
Right. So the ones that you're breaking your chops are now your best buddies.
I mean, yeah.
How old is the oldest sibling?
30.
Oh wow.
30.
Yeah.
Do you guys get along? Like, what do you guys
No,
talk
yeah,
about?
definitely. I don't know.
That's probably why he
We've-
speaks so well. He's
Yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously.
I We talk about everything, really. But yeah, we've always got along. We all grew up to a certain point together, and then obviously some of them moved out.
Are you an uncle?
I was going to say.
I am,
Yeah,
You're an
that's
uncle!
crazy. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Recently.
Youngest looking uncle
Congratulations.
ever.
I know. Really.
I don't know if that's a compliment, but
Yes, it is.
That's cool, man. So look at that. That's crazy.
Did the older brother sit you down to give you the birds and the bees talk? Like, all right, listen, Gabriel, this is how
my
it
older
works.
sister, actually. I was probably too young, but
Yeah.
We know how to do it better, though.
Yeah,
totally.
but not today.
Yeah.
No.
Well, dude, that's awesome. So you, that's pretty crazy. So how old is you have a niece, nephew?
I have a niece, yeah.
You have a niece. How old?
She's adorable. She's, I think, 13, 14 months.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
How
That's
old
really cool.
is she going to be before you show her
Child's
Child's
Play?
Play?
Much older.
Right, older than you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, 10's pretty young to
I was
start.
young. Well, yeah, but you remember again. I was watching Terminator at that age too.
We talked about it,
We had
yeah.
a very different generation
Totally.
because VHS and all those things that were coming up. You could sneak things too, and now thank God for like parental controls and all
Right.
that type of thing too.
Well,
Monitor.
That can be pretty easy to get around.
Yes.
I watched-
I like that. Good answer.
Yeah, no, that's
Homeschool
that's what I
kids
got-
learning
that's
the
what I gotta deal with.
workarounds.
I got 2 kids too, so you got to teach me the ropes so I know what to look out for when they start breaking the rules.
It's like you got a hacker to help the government.
Yeah,
Well, my mom's listening, so I can't say.
well, she knows now.
Sorry,
She knows
Mom.
now. But so what else? All right, so we got Child's Play obviously too. So you and it's just acting's a passion, something you really want to do. Are there certain genres? Are there certain shows that you'd like to do? Like what's in the horizons?
I have another movie coming out, or two more movies coming out after Child's Play.
You're looking at us like we know.
Yeah, no, I was.
Okay.
I thought one of them already came out for some reason, but no, I have 2 more movies coming out after Child's Play.
Dog's
and then,
Best Friend, is that what it is?
Think Like a Dog.
Think Like a Dog.
They might have changed the
Okay,
title.
and
Last I heard it was Think Like a Dog.
and
then
Playmobil?
Playmobil, and then also Robert the Bruce. So yeah.
Are you in Robert the Bruce?
I am, yeah.
Dude,
Do you
I
play
saw-
young Robert the Bruce?
No.
Listen.
This is the most excited you've been all day.
I'm super excited for this. Let me tell you why. I'm a big Braveheart guy. Braveheart's like my favorite movie of all time. One of them.
Have you been allowed to watch that yet?
Yeah.
Braveheart? Okay.
You
good.
saw Brave. Okay, so when I saw Braveheart was incredible, and they did the Robert the Bruce movie with Chris Pine on
Right,
Netflix recently.
yeah.
But yesterday I saw the trailer for the original. I mean, the original actor who played
Right.
Robert the Bruce, and the trailer came out, and I showed my wife. I said, "Look at this." It was like you might as well Star Wars might as well. It was like a Star Wars trailer. And what do you do in that movie?
I play a young villager who kind of him and his family protect Robert the Bruce while he's injured. So because
cool.
there's like 50 gold pieces reward for killing him, so they're trying to hide him from everyone that wants to get the reward.
Did you have to do the Scottish
I was
accent?
gonna say.
I did.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
How'd it go?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't done it in so
Oh,
long.
come on.
It's got to be better
fucking
than
around.
that.
He'll do his if you
Quit
do
fucking
yours.
around and fucking do it. Come on.
Whoa, Scottish.
Ah, that's all you talk over the year.
That's-
You
that's-
square. Come
whatever
on.
you're
What-
whatever
what do you
you're
want me
doing.
to
That's
say?
cool.
Go crush you like a worm.
Maybe say.
Please stop
hello,
talking to
we're
me, John.
here on Collider Live.
It's gonna be bad, but okay. Hello, we're here on Collider Live. I don't know. It's
so
so
good.
Irish.
It's not as good as mine, but it's fine.
Way
It is
better
better
than
than
anybody
yours.
could do.
Yes.
I think
Dude,
it's, so, I don't know. I haven't done that in over a year now.
Do you
This is
have
great,
an acting coach, or do you go to class, or just because you have so many roles?
No, I never have. I mean, we were thinking about it for a little while in the beginning, but we heard.
If you're booking, you don't need it.
Well, yeah, but also we heard some people say that it kind of messed up the natural aspect to it, so we didn't want to go into it too much.
What do you mean?
Well, I always feel like if you plan things too much, like plan each moment, it doesn't really feel as natural. If you go over things too much and like, oh, I'm going to do this here, and then I'm going to do this, and I have to be thinking about this while I'm doing it, it kind of makes you seem like a robot. So yeah, I've never wanted to rehearse things too much or plan each detail too much.
Do your parents help you out with that though? For like if you have an accent or a role that's hard to understand.
My parents do, but mostly my sister because we're both in it together. So
She runs lines with you?
yeah, she runs lines. She runs lines with me.
Do you do it with her?
Yeah, it's funny. We used to give each other's notes all the time, but as we've like developed our own styles, we kind of don't listen to each other's notes as much now, and But yeah, we help each other with lines and accents and all that. She's way better at accents.
As someone who's scared of everything, when you're shooting a movie like Child's Play, did you have like nightmares or anything? What did you get?
No, it's not
Cool,
really.
cool.
Yeah,
cool.
you know everyone there, so it's really comfortable.
Right.
But what about like the Chucky doll? Like, did you have?
We were also really good friends.
No, but like that little guy. He's kind of a freaky little dude.
Well, it's
He's
like
coming
AI.
at you.
I
Right.
mean, yeah, they had a bunch of different dolls, and they were all
Yeah.
pretty creepy to look at.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I never really had to be like alone in a room with
With the
him
doll,
for
right.
a long period of time.
Has it made you nervous of like Siri and Alexa and all of that?
More like actual AI than something like that.
Thank
'cause
you.
it-
Don't trust the robots.
No, a lot of people. Elon Musk talks about it all the time. Like that AI is people are not paying attention to it.
Yeah.
I'll be in my apartment and my Alexa will just start responding to
Yeah.
things I'm saying, and I do not say, "Hey Alexa."
It's a crazy thing.
And she's just talking to me.
Yeah.
That's why I like this take more and more for Child's Play. And well, and it's funny because now you see there's a lot of press now, obviously, for this movie, and as we get closer and closer, have you who's like one of the coolest people besides Mark Hamill, obviously, one of the coolest people through this experience you got a chance to interact with, meet, met fans of the franchise,
Reached out to you.
Yeah.
I want to say, obviously, Aubrey Plaza has been like
that's cool.
so fun to hang
Yeah,
out
of
with
course.
and work with. I would say we're great friends at this point.
Did you know her
If
other work
that
at
is
all?
if she's not listening. I was a huge fan of her from Parks and Rec.
Right.
So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, it was funny actually. Before I knew she was attached, right before the chemistry read, I had just finished binging Parks and Rec for like maybe the third time. So it
Just
was
the clips or the whole thing?
the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, TV,
That-
we can do the
that
whole
I
thing.
watched.
Are you a big Little Sebastian fan?
I love Little
Yeah.
Me too.
Sebastian.
Little Sebastian's the best.
That horse was so cute. Or I guess not
Pony?
horse,
Pony, yeah.
Shetland?
I don't know what it's.
A Shetland is a pony.
Yeah,
It
it's
is?
a type
It's a
of
type
pony.
of-
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a type.
It was small for a
Yeah.
pony,
Yeah.
even though.
But
Yeah.
you were saying sorry.
Oh, yeah, and then obviously all of the cast and crew, Lars, Brian, all the producers. But yeah, pretty much just everyone that's been a part of it has been really, really
That's awesome.
amazing to be able to hang out with.
What's the dumbest question somebody's asked you in a press junket so far?
To do a
Scottish accent.
Right,
totally.
right, yeah.
Probably. I don't know. I don't know that there's ever been a really dumb question. There have been fun questions.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is like the same question asked like 600 times
Yeah.
in a row.
What's that question? Like, what is the movie like? Or what's your character?
A bunch of the same questions.
Yeah.
You guys actually haven't asked any of them, which is cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Well done, us.
I saw it.
But what if we ask him in a Scottish
See?
accent?
Well, then my answer might be different.
Can you give him notes on his performance right now? Like,
yeah.
help him out.
Where-
And be as brutal as possible.
Yeah, please, just be on.
I
it.
don't think I'm in the right place because I haven't done it in so long. I
This
think
kid is
I
going to
think
be very
dare you?
successful.
I
Yes.
think
You know how to work a press room.
No, he doesn't matter what it is. He's like Captain America. He's got a shield.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang.
I think as part of one of your classes is homeschool is press training. Like, just don't answer the
Totally.
idiot's question.
He's
Yeah.
got
I used to
45 brothers and sisters. They don't tell him.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a weird one, but now that you've got some fame, do you feel like some people are flirting with you? Like there's some romantic interest from the
Yeah,
other
like your
kids?
your local yogurt land, some girl comes up like,
Yeah.
hey,
Kind of
Gabriel,
like
love
that.
you.
Not-
Child's Play.
not that I've experienced. I mean,
Not yet.
over Instagram for sure, but
Oh,
not like
we'll
as
slide
much.
into
DMs.
Yeah. I don't know. I mostly all the girls I've ever liked haven't been interested in me.
That'll change.
So
That'll change.
then
Trust
they're
me.
idiots.
I
Yeah.
think it's weird. Like
That's right now because
I'm
they
Christian.
want older guys right now. Trust me, the way you talk, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna
got
be,
it.
You're gonna be just fine.
They want the jerks and the dudes that ride motorcycles, and then
Yeah.
they'll, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trust me. Right now, you're going to be just fine, buddy.
Yeah.
So the movie's Child's Play, and it comes out on June 21st, and we are here with Gabriel Bateman. It has been an absolute pleasure talking with you, my man.
thank you. Yeah, it's been awesome.
Look forward to having you back when you do your next movie. I'm sure it's going to be we got two of them. We got two of them coming out. Whether it's
Three now.
Three. So that's right.
I
Robert the
mean, I
Bruce.
sent you up first too.
Yeah, you got to come back for Robert the Bruce for sure. I can't wait for that.
And bring the Bruce.
Seriously, you're like lighting up
my
about
Scottish.
it.
Yeah,
I'm not.
yes.
Yeah, you know what we should show him before he leaves. We'll show you one of our fans sent us the Braveheart sword.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
legit.
We'll show.
I can't lift it.
We'll show you. We'll show you after during the break. But we're gonna go to break, and when we get back, we will take some phone calls from you guys. We'll talk about some more stuff, the X-Men movies and all that.
Frozen trailer.
Frozen trailer. Frozen 2.
Frozen 2 trailer.
After the break.
The Deuce.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well. Once again, it's every Saturday and Sunday on the Collider video feed, and also you can listen to us on podcast, on the Movie Talk podcast feed, every Saturday and Sunday.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video, on the YouTube, as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week, we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Hey guys, Perry Nemiroff here to let you know that The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that Horrorville podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. We also have clips on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel, and on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the witching hour.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue Brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Hey guys, Perry here to let you know about the new edition of Collider Movie Talk. We are going to 5 days a week. We have a short, sweet 20-minute show where we focus on the two biggest stories of the day. You can expect to see all of your favorite Collider personalities on the show, including Jeff Snyder, John Roca, Haley Fouch. You're getting Josh Macuga every Friday. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be informative, fun. Come join us. 3 p.m. PT live every single day of the week, right here on the Collider Video YouTube channel. You can also find the show on the Collider Movie Talk feed on our podcast network, so go watch, go listen, however you prefer to get all of your movie news.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, you know, if you've been watching us every week, you know we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh Macuga. We've had Taylor Vashadi on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel. And if you want to take us along with you in your ears, you can go and subscribe to the Collider Sports podcast feed for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Reilly here. Let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Reilly Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Kristian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars, and if you want to catch our weekly show where we talk about the latest and greatest in Star Wars, it's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel, and you can listen, you can watch, you can do all of it, but if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out, and then after Episode 9, you got TV shows, so we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real.
Welcome back to Collider Live, everybody. Man, that kid was a cool kid.
I like him.
Gabriel
What
Bateman.
an awesome dude.
Great job, guys.
I can't believe that he's 14, though.
Crazy, almost 15.
Yeah, 15.
I was not that mature.
A,
I'm not that mature
he-
now.
That's why I
he
said,
looks
like, the
young
first thing
and
I said to him.
acts like a 40-year-old.
No.
Like, he was so well put together.
Well, we said it. I mean, it's definitely that's that when you're around that many people.
Older people too.
Yeah, I mean, especially and you're an uncle. I mean, that's. I mean, he's got his
uncle.
head, but he's got his head on his shoulders, and he's
Yeah.
not like. I mean, I've talked to or interviewed kids that are kind of coming up here. In general, A, they act like 12 or 13-year-old kids, and B, some of them are like, yeah, you know, my shit don't stink. I'm 12, 13, I'm in a lot of movies, and you know, that's just you assume that comes not that kid. That kid's just a humble,
I
like
can't believe
smart
the girls
kid.
that he likes don't like him though. Oh my God,
Not
he's
yet.
gonna prove them all.
Not yet. But you wait.
Yeah,
that kid, he's
he'll
just
be great.
that's a smooth kid. But they were happy in there.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
very happy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good interview, guys.
Good. I'm glad
Yeah.
because he was.
So cute.
I didn't know what
He's
to
so-
expect.
yeah.
I didn't know what to expect.
I thought that Scottish accent was actually pretty good for
It was
him. This
good,
guy.
yeah. Well, it was funny because his mom was with him, and his mom came up to me right after. She's like, "How did you not see him in that trailer?
Yeah, he's all
over
in the trailer here."
Because he wasn't in the trailer that I saw. It was like a very small kind of just Instagram thing. It was very quick.
I gotta look
But
up this
I'm
one
gonna,
with the
I'm gonna
Bruce
watch the
trailer,
whole
yeah.
trailer now for sure. But
You
I
were
wanted to
so excited.
I can't wait for that movie. I've been waiting for a Braveheart, follow up forever.
Totally.
And the
And-
fact that he's in it, the actual, Robert the Bruce.
With how successful the first Braveheart was
Yeah.
in today's climate, we'd have Braveheart 2 already in the works as soon as
True.
it.
Yeah.
We're just gonna just call it Robert the Bruce.
Robert the Bruce. Like, how long is that? Is the actual trailer? That's.
Do we? No, Christian.
We're not gonna play the whole trailer. I just want to see how long it's 2:19. 2:19. So it's, but let me see. Can you go to the Angus McFadden plays Robert the Bruce. But yeah, Gabriel Bateman as Scott. Can you go to the right, please? I want to see.
I was going to ask if it was like the Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3 where he like lands and he becomes friends with that kid.
Right, well, Angus
Iron Man
McFadden.
3.
Look at that.
Iron Man
Angus
3.
McFadden. He wrote the screenplay. And Richard Gray. Can you look at? So Angus McFadden actually did he produced the whole thing. So Richard Gray, what did he direct? Did he direct
Passion Project.
He directed Broken Ghost, Sugar Mountain, The Lookalike, Blinder, Mind Games. And
He's
Summer
from
Fun.
Melbourne. Can you do an Australian accent?
Inspired us, mate.
So you have to say fucking in order to do any accent?
Well, in Australia, yeah, it's like, what do they say? My wife goes to this place called Training Mate. It's this Australian workout place, and it's become really popular
Training
in LA.
Mate?
Training Mate, like training, mate. And what do they say? It's like there's something that they say in English that sounds like I forget what it is. Let me text her. Hold on, I'll get it. It'll come back. But I mean, like if I start talking in an Australian accent, I can like get it going, but it's hard to get it going.
All accents. So you did it with Scottish too.
What using that phone? And because like I talk like I'm in Train Spotting.
Sabretooth, what do you got over there?
I'm banning somebody from the chat.
Because of me.
Nope.
Be
No, it
honest.
was spam. No, it was a spam account.
Because of me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's get into. So I bring up Sabretooth here.
Yeah,
not just
X-Men.
not just because of the nails, because of X-Men, where we have that movie.
That movie, Dark Phoenix. Yeah.
It did not do good. And
No.
people knew it was the last hurrah for this version of it, right?
Kinda.
Well,
Yeah.
you knew what you had to have been because it was.
Well, people kind of knew. People didn't fully know.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody I talked to was like, so what's the deal?
Oh. I thought it was pretty given once they signed over from Disney that it was
Yeah.
it was toast. But
Well, then there's the question: what if it blows up. It's critically acclaimed. It makes a ton of money.
Do you use them
What
still?
do you do? But
And the way
we'll
that
never
they've
know now.
used previously, and then
I think it's more of a question mark now with Simon Kinberg, because Simon Kinberg has a very good relationship with Disney, and especially with Star Wars, right, with Rebels and everything that he's done there. So, and he was rumored to be doing the Boba Fett thing for a little bit, writing it anyway. So, what's his future like? With this, because anytime, doesn't matter how in favor you are with any studio, if your last movie hasn't made money, it's hard to come back from it.
Did you feel like that this movie was his fault in any way though? Because I did.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some blame on him for sure.
On Kinberg?
Yeah, so he gets some of it because it's
he directed, didn't write, correct?
I'm sure he had some writing.
Did he?
I think he wrote it too.
Yeah.
Oh, he directed and wrote it?
I'll find out.
And he also,
I know
wrote.
that typically that's he's right.
Doesn't have the best of luck with a lot of the. I mean, he's written a lot of the X-Men movies, but he also had the one. He also did the Brett Ratner one too. Yeah, he produced
directed
it,
and screenplay
and wrote it.
Okay,
So
he definitely gets a little blame.
he gets some blame. For
Although
sure.
I like the movie better than most.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a bad movie. Like I said, I just thought it was just dull.
I will say, by the trailer, it interested me more than Apocalypse.
Yeah. And I think that it's a little bit more structured maybe than
I thought it was better than Apocalypse.
I see. I thought Apocalypse had a few more had better emotional moments, but either way, the franchise is toast. And the reason why there was some report that came out now that Disney's now a little gun shy about putting them in the MCU.
Yeah.
I hope that this is nothing but a rumor, because you can't, because if they felt that way, then Spider-Man would have never made his way into Civil War.
But X-Men or Fan 4? What are you hoping
will come first? I'm sure Fantastic Four will come first.
I think they can do that. But here's the report. It's from the Hollywood Reporter that goes in not only about the MCU future, but kind of what went wrong with this. And it all started with Apocalypse. I recommend it. I always love these behind-the-scene kind of things, and they go into that. But there is an unnamed producer, one of their sources, that is basically say there is no rush to bring the X-Men to the marketplace after this. When they do come back, it's going to extend Marvel's run another 10 years. So they're wanting to pump the brakes right now.
It might be
Give
smart.
it a little. I think it's very smart. Give it a little room to breathe.
Yeah.
Because once they introduce the mutants to the MCU, I think 10 years. I would say 12, 15.
Before you bring them back?
No.
No,
To extend
long,
the
yeah.
MCU, because then you can introduce your Wolverine
And have their own
Cyclops,
have their own silent
have their own
standalone
movies. You can do
No.
spin-offs and have a Wolverine. You can pair them up with.
I think that rationale makes a lot of sense. I think that, and to go back to your question before, Rox, I think that Fantastic Four is the one I'd rather see right now, because I have seen X-Men movies that have worked.
Yeah.
I've seen X-Men movies that I like. I haven't seen a Fantastic Four movie yet that has been great. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen these
You
great.
didn't like any Fan 4 movies, or you didn't?
I mean, I
love?
think the first Tim Story one was whatever, and then
the second was
the Josh Trank stuff had possibilities, and you could tell it was just an absolute disaster. But like the actual,
How great is that cast, though?
I know, yeah,
That's what sucks.
But I think that just shows that there's stuff that can be done with those characters that haven't been done yet, and I would much rather see them appear first, take care of all these movies that you have, and then, like Reilly said, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 6 years from now, then the X-Men start popping up, because when they do, the fans are going to lose their minds.
Yeah,
I just, for me, the one thing that worries me about the MCU, and I mean, for the most part, I think a lot of these superhero movies that do okay, right? They cost you a lot of money. I mean, Shazam did fine. What is Shazam at now? Do we know as far as box office goes?
It did less than people might have thought, but it did fine.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure it did some sort of profit, right?
Yeah, it's like 362 worldwide.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost 362.
Sure.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think that
I should have done better. It was a really good movie.
Right. I mean, Aquaman making all that money, even though, whatever, I'll get attacked by Facebook user ... because that guy attacked. Anytime I say the word Aquaman,
And you can't respond to him too.
No.
It's so weird what he does. I don't get how it is.
But and that movie was kind of garbage, and so a lot of the these movies that look okay but aren't part of the MCU are just going to get that like standalone meh treatment, right? And the next version of the MCU now after Endgame, it's kind of like, okay, whose character's what? Now we're going to go into this cosmic universe. I've always had a trouble with just like it's all this space travel. It's kind of annoying. I've never been like a huge space guy, and that's maybe one of the reasons I didn't like the trailer for DarkPhoenix was like it's all this space thing. Now we're getting into, and the difference between a lot of this is we're getting
the trailer
into
for DarkPhoenix
because there was a bunch of space stuff. Yeah. But what I'm saying is like that for me.
That will be your problem with the movie.
No.
But anytime they go to space, I'm out, right? Because it's just not as believable. I know they're like, oh, when superheroes are believable. Yeah, I get it. But for me, it's like we're going to get into a ton of characters in the MCU.
You didn't like Guardians, then?
I did like Guardians, but that's because the movie like it really didn't.
It was funny.
Yeah, and it sort of took place on an Earth, and it was funny.
Oh, really?
And well, that place where they attacked at the end, that was like an Earthish place.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
just don't like
saying?
them when they're in actual space flying
Well,
around.
when you take all of the Americans to space, those people have like never been to space. You got a raccoon and a blue man and all this stuff. They're like they just can survive space.
So you don't mind other planets. You don't like actual space.
Yeah, we don't have the way to get to space. We don't have that.
Oh, we can. Oh, yes, we do.
No, we don't have the way to like travel through space to get to these other planets.
Like they do in the movies.
Yeah, and they're just going to all these other planets. Like this is their thing. Like we're gonna go to here and here and here and
Went
here.
to the moon.
Yeah, that's right here. I'm talking
In
about
space.
like they're getting to these other crazy planets, and they're like, oh, we can survive on this. We don't know what their atmosphere is, but we
things to
can.
Mars.
Roxy.
What I'm getting at here is all
She's
of our,
exhausting.
what I will
Who
get.
said that?
The
comments.
What I will get
Yes,
is
you're
we're
right.
now getting to a lot of these MCU characters that I just don't know who they are, and I really don't care.
Yeah,
like
that's yet. I mean,
Yeah.
Doctor Mother effing Strange.
Well, then Fantastic Four you're not going to like because they're going to go to
they'll take
space and they're going to get their
That's how they
powers.
get their powers in
Sure.
space. But anyway, I think that it probably makes sense. At first, I just don't want them to just make a decision based off of one movie. But if it was already the plan, and then it's just helped their decision to be like, you know what, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait just a couple of years, 3-4 years, and when it's time, we'll bring them out there because they're not gonna not bring them back because. I also think that it's a thing that if you recast Wolverine tomorrow, right away, you're always going to have the comparison, but right away, all the articles about the comparing so and so versus Hugh Jackman, right? In 5 years from now, 6 years, you'll still get the comparison because Hugh Jackman has been Wolverine for 15 years, whatever it is, or 19 years, right?
Wow.
Well, something like that.
You need
Logan
like
came out in 2017, so 17 years.
Wow.
But I mean, he's still
wow,
he's
Right
still
now,
the reigning
he's
Wolverine.
considered
he's still
Wolverine.
You need like a
Wolverine, so-
generational change. You need like a 10-year, 12-year change before you see a Wolverine, in my opinion.
Yeah, but even if you did like 5 or 6 years, right? And you popped in Wolverine there too. By that point, like I said, he's always the same way that Heath Ledger was compared to Jack Nicholson right away. But you're going to give an actor the opportunity to do it. But I think that's probably a good idea to wait. And at first, because I've changed my stance on it, because I thought, just make it happen. I think this makes sense. You have a lot of other properties that
You're
you're
allowed
working
to
with.
change your mind?
I don't know if you're allowed to, but I'm going to try.
Wow.
Yeah.
How dare you?
But
Like I don't know who these immortals are. I don't think I really care.
Yeah, but we all said that about Guardians.
Yeah, but there was a raccoon.
You didn't want to see Ant-Man.
I did.
You loved Ant-Man.
I did like Ant-Man.
Let it go, let it go.
Is that what you want to talk about? Did you like the first one? You didn't like the first one? But you like this trailer?
I thought, no and no. I thought that the first one was fine.
Okay.
Of Frozen?
Well, the problem was I saw Frozen for the first time last month.
Yeah. Oh, right. I remember that.
So the hype was so overhyped.
Yes.
Like I'm thinking about Lion King and Aladdin and Mulan.
Right.
Frozen was not even. It's rude to put it in the same conversation with those. I mean, come on.
Okay.
But it was fine.
Oh.
The music is dank. The music is unreal.
Bet.
Dank? Is that bad, I thought?
No,
No,
that's
dank.
1997.
Like that dank weed, you know?
Oh, yeah, totally. Fucking
Welcome
bad.
back to 1998, Kristen.
But then this trailer was bizarre.
It ain't really. It's funny because when
Yeah, that was the funniest face I've seen you make in a long time.
Well, because I think he was
Like, you
thinking,
just
like, why
couldn't-
did she just
yeah,
transition
it's
us
just-
into this? How did this just happen?
No,
Like-
listen, at this point, it's just like I'm just gonna go with it. It's like it's a tidal wave. It's like if we don't want to talk about a subject, I figured whatever the room, I'm just gonna read the room at this point. It's like just.
Well, I mean, I was trying to get something across.
If you noticed, if you noticed
You
yesterday,
did.
we
You
were
said that you didn't know them. You didn't want to go to Ant-Man. You wanted to go. He said all that.
Yeah, you did.
I'll just say, I noticed right there when Roxy jumped in, you were saying something. He just went.
I'm just going to let the conversation go wherever it goes at this point. Not conducting anymore. But but we'll go back to as far as Frozen goes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cody. No, I watched the trailer with my daughter, who the first movie she ever saw in the theater was the first Frozen, and we watched the trailer together, and she said, "What's it about?"
Yeah.
I don't think you really know. What it's about. And I said, I got to watch it again because I have no idea what it's about yet.
Scary.
Ice surfing?
Kind of.
I think it's about Elsa now. First she was shunned, and now she has to save the world with her powers.
Something like that. The synopsis says she's traveling to find out what the source of her powers are. So.
Okay. But we don't get that in the trailer.
Oh, God, no.
No, but there was that one line, like, first they cast you out, and now you are the only hope.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Help us, everyone. It looks scary, creepy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the first one a lot, actually. So I'm looking forward to taking my daughter to see it. But we'll see what happens.
You gonna go to the premiere?
Don't know. But we'll see. All right.
Do you think there's
going
gonna be a bunch of ice at the premiere?
Maybe.
I would imagine there's going to be
Snow?
ice.
What's
Yeah.
next? Reilly?
This next we
You're
need
conducting. You're conducting.
We need some Red Bull in this room, man. This is just.
I don't think so. I think we're doing fine.
Let it go. Let it go.
Cody,
Yeah.
thank you.
Nice. What's next? Any other stories?
Yeah, there's a bunch still. I mean, I'm just trying to find it because I have a bunch of windows open. Let's do this.
It's like a full-on horror scream.
It is.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, when she screams
It's
at
a
that dinner
full-on
table,
scream, yeah.
Nicole Kidman's reaction is, I guarantee you in the room, they were like, all right, Meryl, scream how
She
you
didn't
want
know
to
it was
scream.
coming.
Nope.
I want to rewatch. Is that clip? Can you actually watch that clip?
That's what I'm playing right now.
Don't you think that was
can I
good,
see it?
though?
Can I see
Good
it?
advice
Her-
for the kids?
What?
When you don't know what to do, it's okay to scream.
Into a pillow, maybe.
Totally, it's okay to scream, but when you scream like that in front of kids, they are going to go clam up silent.
Yeah,
if my
did seem
grandmother
that way.
had
I wanna
screamed like
see
that
it.
at a Sunday dinner, my mom would have been like, "Leave, you
Yeah.
friggin' psychopath!"
I want to see
Your
Nicole
son
Kidman's
raped
reaction
people.
now.
No, we cannot play this.
You can play it 2 seconds.
We can,
of it,
yeah.
I just want to see where she is the actual reaction itself.
See those
yeah.
kids?
Yeah, that's a real
right.
reaction.
There it is.
Totally. You can't.
Definitely.
It's hard to react to
fine.
that.
Yeah.
All
way.
right, turn it off.
I think she's fine.
I want to get caught.
Yeah.
You don't like Nicole Kidman? Not a big Nicole Kidman fan?
No.
I love Nicole Kidman. What?
Nicole Kidman was in space. She went to the moon.
What
put stuff on
what
Mars.
did I just
Hubble
do that made you
telescope.
think that I don't like Nicole Kidman?
You said it was all right.
It's all right that she did that. That Meryl Streep did that. Meryl Streep in Frozen 2, actually.
Next story.
Maybe do you want to take a call?
No, I want to know what this next story is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a Tom Clancy video game called The Division. A couple years ago, it was announced that they were going to make it into a movie and that Jake Gyllenhaal and Jessica Chastain were attached. It's just been announced that it is going to Netflix. Netflix has bought it. Ubisoft made the announcement, and during E3. So there you go. We're getting
Good
a
cast.
big budget Jake Gyllenhaal, Jessica Chastain movie over Netflix again.
Was it a book
Post-apocalyptic action thriller?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Jake Gyllenhaal, one of the top 3 best living actors.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
So
good.
this is a video game movie? Is that what this is?
It's based on a video game movie.
How lame was Jessica Chastain in DarkPhoenix?
Again, that's my point. It's just like, it wasn't. It's
not her fault, I'm just saying.
No, that's my point. There was nobody had.
That
anything,
character was the weakest.
Nobody had nothing. And nobody had anything to do with that.
She looks kind of like a haired Tilda Swinton in this picture. They like
Yeah.
blonded her and weirded her
eyebrows
out.
were
Yeah, she just had nothing to do. Nobody had anything to do in this movie.
Yeah. Nobody had anything to do.
It's the truth. It just had nothing to do.
I have a news thing, unless
okay.
you want to keep
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
this. Something that I feel like nobody is talking about right now, which I just can't believe. It's not movie news, but David Ortiz.
Oh, right.
Right.
David Ortiz was shot in the DR,
Yes.
and
So glad you brought that up,
he was at a bar with a friend and was shot in the DR, and it went through his back, out his stomach.
They had to remove some of his intestine.
And
right?
and he has some organ issues. They took him immediately to the hospital. Then the Red Sox flew him on a private jet from there to Mass Gen in Massachusetts, and he's alive and in stable condition. But it was not trending.
Right.
It was not talked about on Sports Hub and WEEI, the two main sports stations back in Boston. They were only talking about the Bruins. They did not cover it, and he is like second to Tom Brady. I mean, you guys remember after this is our fucking city, like after Boston bombings, he is like the Boston hometown hero.
Interesting.
And the coverage is so minimal. I saw it a little bit on ESPN the next day, and the people are now kind of talking about it. But like I said, even in the sports tab on Twitter, not trending. It was all about like Kevin Durant being healthy enough to play, or the Bruins winning Game 6. There was just no talk about this.
Wow.
Let me. Okay, it's twofold. One, I'm shocked that they're not doing that in Boston.
Now they are, but night of.
There was no
coverage.
It's starting to pick up more now, but it's because when I was at lunch with Roxy and Tom, they told me about it yesterday, and it was the first time I heard about it. Because even Roxy's like, "You haven't heard about this?" I'm like, "No," and
you should know about that. Everyone should know
Yeah.
he is one of the most and
he's one of the
apparently.
Is it because when he got shot, everybody's like he's in stable condition? It wasn't as
Well, that didn't come out. It was he was shot, and we didn't know what
And they beat the piss
until
out of the guy
finally
that
his
did
dad
it.
said something. Yeah, there was two guys.
Two of them,
one
right.
of them
On a motorcycle, right?
One of them ran.
Right.
One of them they did beat the living crap out of him, and there's talks about why this isn't getting vocalized as much, and also who shot him, and they think that it might be hired guns, that there might be political implications here because he has talked about running for office and,
I saw so many
also
rumors.
I saw rumors also about two
crime lord or something, right? Yeah.
or two police officers who had been hired to do this. I mean, I
crazy.
saw.
So corrupt.
I don't know what the truth is right now,
Right.
Because
Nobody really knows what it is.
Yeah.
Because I saw like a whole bunch of things after you guys told me about it. There was one like that. There was a crime lord's. David Ortiz was involved with the crime lord's wife or something. It was like all these things. And who knows what's fantasy and fiction?
I have no idea.
Yeah, and
it's some of these super wealthy athletes that are from these third world, very, very corrupt countries that, and anytime you watch any of the drug lord kind of a situation, they go back home, they try and do something noble and all this kind of stuff. And this happens more often than not. Like they go Venezuela, what's his name?
Arturo Gotti,
yeah,
right?
Arturo Gotti.
That was
Argentina.
That was his wife.
Yeah, his
Arturo
wife
Gotti,
put that.
That was his wife.
But there's been multiple reports of like kidnappings and all this kind of stuff.
No
because
protection.
No protection.
And he
so much money.
Yeah. Scary. I mean, scary that this can happen. You can be just casually out and. Luckily, it did go through his back and out his stomach, because if they had shot him in the head, he'd be dead.
Dead.
Totally.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
And apparently the bullet hit somebody else as well.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Which also is not being publicized really.
No, it's definitely a crazy story that's not enough people are talking about for sure. And even as a Yankee fan, Big Papi was one of those guys that it's like
It has nothing to do with your fandom at this point.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying in general, like he was he was like the guy that the only reason you didn't like him if you were a Yankee fan is just because he was a Red Sox. But like, they're like Pedro Martinez and Manny, I just never was gonna like, right? But Ortiz, he's like a good, big, lovable guy. I just didn't like him because he was a Red Sox. But once he was on the team, like, it's Big Papi.
Yeah.
And like, and plus the fact you don't want anybody to be in that situation.
Also, think about he's only been retired for a couple of years. What if this had happened while he was playing?
Oof.
I mean,
Right.
there's so many. It's horrible.
No,
it's
yeah.
horrible, and he's. I mean, to call him lucky is not fair, but the fact that it did,
In
there's
some
an enter
extent.
and an exit
Yeah.
wound. I mean, this could have gone so much worse. And I just can't believe it. How is this not the number one news story on
and why
and everything?
Why, when they go back to their countries and they're possibly in harm's way, how do they not have security? All this stuff, it goes back to they try and do good, they try and do something for their old country, for their community, whatever, and it's just not repaid.
Yeah.
It's not repaid at all. Instead, it's repaid with gunfire.
Although, and I completely agree. However, was so clear how loved he is by his community. But not that beating the crap out of somebody shows love, but I mean, this guy got annihilated.
Yeah, well,
like,
they tried to take off, the two guys on the bike, and they like hit a car or something, right? And then
one of them
fell off, and then the crowd just beat the piss out of him.
living crap out of him.
Yeah, but all
as
it
he
takes
should.
is one guy with a gun. It
Exactly.
just takes one.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire world can support you. There's one guy
Out
with
of
a gun.
Yeah.
So scary. So scary. Could have. I don't know. I wonder if this had been Brady, would it be making more headlines? And the answer is, of course.
Yeah, but Brady's not going to the Dominican Republic in a very dangerous area with no security, and he's very clearly David Ortiz
100%.
is a very prominent figure. He's pissed off the wrong people and the wrong things, and there is no protection. There is very little thing that money and the government can't do in a lot of these countries because there are no rules.
100% agree. I just am.
Coverage.
Yeah, coverage.
Yeah, I think
Where
coverage.
where is it?
And
Do
it's
your
also,
job.
And the question is, it's
That's
like
the Patriots,
and not even like a Tom Brady. Like if a retired player like Joe Montana.
Joe
would happen
Montana,
too, right?
fine.
Like what's the coverage like? Because an active player, you're definitely getting the coverage. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you've seen more coverage from players who aren't even known because they're active and have been in car accidents.
True, but he is still so prominent in Boston. He feels active. Like
I agree with you.
No, I know you do. I know you do.
That it should be covered everywhere. I'm just saying that that's usually what happens. That it's like, oh, you're not in our focus right now. But that's a story to that it should have been covered a lot more.
kind of like what you said. I saw Jeter speak out about this as well, and he pretty much said the exact same thing. Like everybody loves this guy,
Yeah.
even like the only reason you don't is because he's a Red Sox.
Yeah,
But
he's
like,
just on another team. But I just, and also because he scared the shit out of me every time he got up at the plate.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
he just knew
Dangerous.
because he destroyed us every single time. But you respected him. You
Totally.
you respect him.
and like I said, after the Boston bombings, he was the face of hope.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that. This is our fucking city clip played everywhere. It was on every sign. It was him standing there. Like he was so inspirational in that moment, and that's why the Red Sox, I think, released a statement being like he was there for us when we needed him. In what was that, 2013 or
Yeah.
2012?
Something like that.
We need to be there for him now. Everybody step up
That was
because
really
nobody
cool.
was
Though. They
saying
flew him
anything.
though too, and they took care of one of their own. So
Yeah,
that
as they
was
should.
good.
But yes,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah, because it's different from the team. The team doesn't need to cover anything. The team just needs to take care of their boy, and they did. And they got him, and they. That's,
Were they just not allowed to report on it because they didn't know any facts? Or
Well, that's why I was so confused because listening to Sports Hub and EEI, at the time, Sports Hub was playing a nationally syndicated show, so nobody chimed in, but it wasn't specific to Boston. But EEI was
But that's
talking.
a national story.
I
with Dave
agree.
Ortiz.
I agree. So it's like, did the host just not know and the producers didn't tell them? Did the producers not know either? For EEI, they started taking callers talking about the Bruins, and from what I listened, I only was listening to like 15 minutes. I can't believe the callers didn't say something.
Right.
They're all talking about like, great, the Bruins won. Like
they probably didn't know as much.
they must not have known.
Because,
but-
like I said, I'm
because
sitting there yesterday. I had no idea what you guys were talking about until you told me about it.
But for people in Boston to not know,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Right. Well, I mean, I think it's changed now. Everybody definitely knows, is talking about it, and hopefully
I don't
they'll cover
think so.
No.
I don't think everybody knows.
Everyone in the chat is saying it's been covered pretty well. Saying it was all over their Twitter feeds. It was on Entertainment Tonight. Me
yesterday.
personally, this morning, after the NBA game,
Right.
they were talking all about David Ortiz.
Right. So that's what I mean. So
Sports radio that I was listening
But
to.
night of,
yeah, because I think
nothing.
that's-
Next morning, barely anything.
I think that it's been covered pretty heavily
Now?
since, because like after you guys told me about it, like I saw it. I did see it everywhere afterwards, but like before that, I didn't hear anything. Maybe it just took a little
As soon
bit
as
to
it
catch
happened,
on.
I knew immediately. It was all over Twitter. It was everywhere. I mean, I got notices from ESPN app, everything.
Yeah.
It was not trending on Twitter.
Oh well,
It was trending on my Twitter. It was one.
All right. Well, hopefully.
Really? That night?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You're the only person I've heard say that.
Yeah.
all right, well,
All my Boston friends too. I called everybody.
Well, hopefully now, again, thoughts and prayers to David Ortiz, his family, city of Boston, just in general, that he makes a speedy recovery, because Big Papi is a pretty big staple of the not just the baseball community, just community in general. So, again, thoughts and prayers, and hopefully they figure out exactly what the hell's going on.
Did you ever see his
Yeah.
This Is Sports Center commercial?
It's
Where
great.
he puts the Yankee hat on. Wally! Come on, Wally!
Yeah,
He's the best.
It's good. Let's open up the phone lines too. We'll get some topics and questions and things of that nature. But Reilly? Anything else? Can you see anything going on in the Facebook group? We'll do. Actually, we'll probably have one or two questions.
Yeah, I'll jump on the
I'm glad you
Facebook
brought that
group
up,
right now.
because that's something we should have covered for sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Cody. Though, that there's been more coverage.
Yeah, a bunch of people in chat.
I would love to walk outside and poll people because I'm telling you, there's still.
I think at this point, I'm telling you, I think it's caught on.
Okay.
I think it's caught on. Reilly, got anything? Facebook group, Twitter?
I'm looking.
Thank you. All right, hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
This is Brandon from Springfield.
Hey, Brandon, what's up, man? What do you got for us today?
Yo, man, I had a question. I want to know, are there any movies that you guys like the concept of that you wish would be remade and done better? As in, you like the premise of it. For me, mine would be like In Time with Justin Timberlake.
Yep.
I love the premise of that movie. I just feel like the execution of it wasn't great. Are there any movies like that you guys love that you want to see maybe made better?
I love that question. I got two for you because, again, this is just kind of off the top of my head.
That In Time call.
Looper is one of those that I think works. And the other one is a movie that no one at this table probably knows, but it's called The Slugger's Wife. And Daryl Palmer was the character's name, but it was from Noonan. Noonan was from Caddyshack was the lead.
Yeah.
And so basically what it's about is this is when the Braves were really shitty and they still haven't won a championship in a long time. And the home run record at that time was still Roger Maris. Mm-hmm. So this guy is kind of unknown, kind of journeyman baseball player, starts hitting homers out of the park, and he gets involved with this girl, Rebecca De Mornay, right? And he starts getting on a streak, and it looks like he's going to break it, but then she leaves him, and she's like his muse, and it just falls, and he just can't do it, and finally he gets him back in the playoffs. He breaks the record, but now the record with Barry Bonds like 70 something. The home run record is as cool. The hitting streak by Joe DiMaggio still has never been broken. Right. And if you took a team like the Nationals or somebody like a team that's just been in the hole for a while, and you did basically that again, I think you could do a good, because baseball movies when they're done great,
like The Natural,
can be great. And I'd love to see The Slugger's Wife done again.
Did you ever see The Scout, the one with Brendan Fraser and her Al Brooks? Yeah. I love that idea. I thought that was just kind of like a weirdly executed movie.
You got one, Ross?
Batman v Superman.
Oh, okay.
The concept of Batman v Superman is epic.
Right.
Yeah.
The execution of that film, unfortunately, there's parts of it I love, but
less than epic.
It came too soon.
Yeah. Reilly?
Wait, when you said Looper, did you mean Jumper?
Yes.
Jumper.
Because that's what I was going for.
Thank you.
That's what I was thinking.
Sorry, everybody. Looper is great.
Because Looper is
great.
Good concept,
Looper.
good execution.
Thank you. Jumper, the Jumper, Simon Kinberg, by the way.
Right, because I was going to Jumper.
Yes,
because it's such
Jumper.
a great premise.
Looper.
But then,
fantastic.
In Time should have been so much better, because I really do like that idea.
Right.
I think one of the cooler things that we've never seen really done perfectly is like the rise and fall of a boy band in a movie, because
they did the one with they did the Andy
Never
Samberg
Never
movie.
Stopping. No,
that movie is so underrated.
So funny.
Popstar.
So funny.
Really funny.
That wiener is popping through.
Popstar is a funny movie.
Funnier when you watch it again too. It's funny.
Kills Seal. I remember seeing that movie in the theater for the screening and just losing my mind. Like, how does this in a movie bomb? And I'm like,
we sat next to each other for Popstar. Never Stop. Never Stop.
We were crying,
loving it. We walked out and it was like, that was trash. We're like, it was.
Like,
It was perfect. It was.
That movie was very funny.
I remember I spit out popcorn when the wiener came through the window. When the wiener came through the window, I spit out popcorn.
Yeah, that's funny.
I have a Twitter here that I want to throw out there.
Sure.
Alan Tudyk is credited for being the voice of Iago.
Oh,
Thank you,
really?
Brian S. over on Twitter.
There's no voice.
Did he talk? Yeah.
Oh, you know what? In a parrot way, yeah, he did.
Oh, he did?
Like he would repeat stuff already.
Yeah, that's true. He did. He did like a couple of times.
Yes, but it wasn't like a full-on like.
I love
he was
Alan
having
Like Gilbert
conversations.
Gottfried.
Yeah, he was having conversations. Yes.
So how'd it go?
Right. There was none of that.
No, he definitely he did
Yes.
repeat multiple times.
Yes, he did.
I forgot about that.
Right.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
All right, look,
just getting some clarification.
That's the show.
That's the
It's
show.
Tuesday, June 11th. That's a
You're
wrap.
done. You're
everybody.
over it.
No, just the show. So, guys, thank you for joining us today. Once again, I would like to thank Gabriel Bateman for coming in here to go see Child's Play. It comes out this weekend. Roxy Striar, Mark Reilly, Josh Macuga, Cody Hall, hey Alex, the whole crew. We'll see you tomorrow.
I love movies. Gosh, I love movies. I love watching them, and I love making them.